Welcome to the UnrulyCast, the official podcast that I have started. And today I have two wonderful starring guests, two people that I really wanted to bring onto the podcast because they have something of value that I actually enjoy out of them, and that is the way that they carry themselves about as a content creator, their communities that they represent. Especially Belle. She will be representing and being able to speak freely on some of what community she represents and the great content that she does, along with my buddy Phazer over here, who has his fair share of content and ideas and represents his own community as well. And I wanted to bring all that together so everyone gets represented and we get to educate ourselves, each other, on the matter. So we're going to start with Phazer. Give us a little introduction about yourself, and then we'll go with Belle.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for having me on, first of all. And also thank you, Hells, for, co-guesting, I guess. But hi, my name's Phazer. Essentially, I like to create variety content. I love to do variety streams, mainly interactive stuff, just because I like to really get the people involved. I feel like when people feel like they're a part of something, that actually increases engagement, increases enjoyment in the content as well. I also do FPS games. I play a fair bit of Minecraft. Just it's like the go-to game for me. And I just like to play a bunch of other things like that. I love to raid people, and I just like having a really good time in the streams. And I like to build a community outside of the stream as well, so that way, even when I'm not present, my community can still interact with each other and like make friends that way as well.
Hi, I'm Isabel, aka Hellsabels. I am a mainly Apex streamer, but I do play Dead by Daylight as well as a lot of other variety games. I too as well have a huge focus on community. I love playing with my viewers. I love playing with, my friends. One of the biggest things that I like to really stress is, how happy I am that my people who come and watch me or people who come play with me or just hang out with me are, to me, like, they're just so important. This I've been streaming for a little bit over a year, and honestly it has been probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. So yeah, and I just want to again thank Unruly for inviting us both, and thank you, Phaser, as well. You guys are both very sweet human beings, and I'm very glad I've met you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so that does it for introductions. Those of you guys don't know, my name is Unruly. I am a FPS streamer, content creator. Mainly play Apex Legends professionally, so that's the main game I stick to. But I do variety content as well. You pretty much name the game, I've played it or tried to play it with friends and viewers. And I am, of course, the host of the podcast. And with further ado, let's start with today's topics. We have 3 topics involved for today. Both of our creators have spent time getting their ideas together, hopefully, on what they have some stories. I know they have some stories. Phazer has one that he's really passionate about, and I want to hear about it myself, so we're definitely going to hear a good story. And those topics are struggles as for each of these content creators, what they've dealt with, the hills, the mountains they've had to climb over, the highs, the lows, whatever they want to talk about when it comes to they had to deal with as they continue on their quest to be a good content creator. The second one will be stigma, stereotypes, and judgment that they have faced being a content creator within the communities that they represent and how they've overcome that. And the third topic is positivity, because at the end of the day, it is quite the mental and physical struggle being in this kind of line of work. People say nasty things to each other. Some people represent things that aren't very nice. And I want to get the takes of both these creators on how they remain positive, how they spread positivity, how they represent positivity. And with each of these topics, each creator will have 10 uninterrupted minutes to speak on the topic, give their opinions, enlighten us, educate us on what they represent and their struggles and how they overcame them, and represent their communities as well. Because at the end of the day here, we all want to better the community, better the content creation world, and whether we learn something or not out of today, we'll have to find that out. And I believe we're starting with Phazer. So Phazer, tell me some of the struggles as a content creator, streamer that you've dealt with, and I look forward to that story that you have for us. So the floor is yours.
So as far as the story goes, I might want to save that for stereotypes. Do you think that would make sense?
Whatever works for you. Whatever works
Okay,
for
all
you.
right, cool. So, basically, when it comes to struggles as a content creator, and I'm just gonna set a little timer so I don't like to talk way over. But basically, when it comes to struggles as a content creator, the main things that I face are consistency and just motivation sometimes. Those are sometimes the biggest obstacles that I think anybody could ever go through. And it's interesting because when it comes to consistency, it seems simple enough. You stream every day, upload content, do everything you can to be able to push yourself out there. But sometimes there comes days, even the greatest people at certain things, will tell you, I didn't want to go do this that day. I didn't want to go to practice. I didn't want to stream that day. I didn't feel like making videos. And it's like, it's just human. And so I think a lot of times, especially creators can be very hard on themselves, thinking they have to be perfect in that sense of like, if you're not doing this every single day, then you're failing. And so that's definitely something that I've struggled with because there have been days where I haven't, streamed and it can seem like an eternity. It can feel like a whole week when it's only been like a day. And sometimes you feel like, okay, everybody's going to stop watching me. Nope, everybody's going to forget about me, even though it hasn't been that long. And it can just really toll on you mentally because you're sitting there and you're thinking, I some days, I've pushed through and I've been like, I'm gonna stream even if I don't want to, and it's the worst stream of my life. It'll feel really miserable. Like I won't have the energy to do anything that stream. I won't be like my normal self. I won't be anything that I normally am. And I feel like I end up regretting that decision to stream anyway because I'm like, okay, I would have been better off just taking off that day and just coming back fresh the next because it was just kind of a situation where I feel like I forced myself too much, and that can happen. That can absolutely happen to where you can do too much. And so sometimes less is more in that context. And I think that that's something that I'm just now kind of wrapping my head around because normally I got to the point actually where, I didn't stream for a very, very long time because I got burnt out and I pushed myself too hard. And in fact, an interesting story is so when people ask me how long I've streamed, it's two answers, if that makes sense. So the first answer of like, how long has my channel been around? Like, when did I create it? It would be about 2.5-ish years ago. How long have I been streaming? A lot less than that. And I've been streaming since the beginning, but not consistently. So, like, if you add that time together of total streaming time, it's probably around somewhere a year. But if you're talking about consistently, definitely maybe like half a year, and that's combined. That's not just recently. So it got to a point where I would be streaming, and I hit affiliate relatively quick, about a week and a half, I believe. And after that, it was just slow growth, and then it got to a point where I just stopped. And I didn't have a game that I wanted to really play, and that's another thing is just feeling like you have to have certain games that you fall back on, or, sometimes you think, are the viewers getting bored with this game? I'm getting bored with this game. What am I going to do? What ideas am I going to have next? It's that constant struggle of what's new, what's better, what is something I can, please everybody with. And it got to the point where I didn't have any games that I could think of. I would have two games that I would play occasionally, but I didn't really play games at all for a period of time. And so I didn't stream for a period of time. And it really, really like messed with me because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I know I want to do this, but this is really, really hard. I mean, this is extremely hard to not do something that I've put so much time and effort into. So I finally came back to it and I wasn't fully ready. So I pushed myself even more and more. It got to the point where I was struggling to finish a stream over an hour. I mean, I would get to the hour mark and I'd be like, okay, I'm done finally. And then I just went off and did whatever else because I felt like that hour was enough, but it wasn't. And so I took a little bit more time off, and then finally it got to the point just 2 or 3 months ago where I actually was very passionate about it. And I was like, okay, I've got my fire back. I know exactly what I want to do, what I need to do. I know what direction I want to go in now instead of just, playing the same game over and over and over again. And I felt that if I wanted to be noticed, I had to be one of the best in the world at any given game. And that's obviously not true anymore. It used to be you would want to be the best at Fortnite or the best at CSGO or the best at COD, and everybody would watch you. And if you weren't, you either had to be massively entertaining or you had to be one of the best in the world. And now I feel like there's a happy medium in between now where you can be decent or even bad at a game, but you can be very entertaining and people will love watching you. And I found that more people care about you as the person and you of entertaining them and connecting with them more than the gameplay. I mean, I've ran several polls on my Twitter and all that stuff saying, what's the favorite most thing you like about my stream? Is it the content? Is it the personality? Is it the actual gameplay? Almost nobody said gameplay. Almost nobody out of all the polls that I ran, because they just care about what you play and they just care about having a good time and that sense of community. And it's almost in a situation where, you know, you're thinking about how, I don't know how to word this. You almost don't believe people could care that much, if that makes sense. You always have this idea of like, okay, my content, the gameplay itself has to be good, and everything has to be perfect. The lighting has to be exactly how it is. The audio has to be perfect, everything. But you kind of lose track of, okay, the person that they're looking to watch is the streamer. That's you. You know what I mean? So it's just sometimes losing track of that, feeling like you have to be perfect, understanding that, it's not something that you have to force yourself to do if you don't want to, because your content will suffer because of it. And another thing, a new thing that I haven't mentioned before about struggles is most definitely comparisons. I feel like, and I'm not getting into the Walmart Ninja thing yet, but basically, as far as comparisons go, I feel like there's a huge situation where they can get caught up. I'm talking about as the viewers. They get caught up in like, okay, well, I like this person's content and they play similar games as this person. So, maybe they've been familiar with this person for longer. So they hold that person against you, kind of like, okay, you don't have as good of audio quality as this person. You don't have as good of camera quality as this person, or you're not as good as this person in this game. So I like them better. And I've actually had a couple of viewers, they're obviously not my viewers anymore. I don't know where they are at this point, but I've had a couple people come into my game and say, hey, I'm watching, so-and-so, and they're at this stage in this game, and you're not even here. You must not be good. And then they just constantly compare and compare and compare. And it's just, you try to not let that get to you. And then it's just sometimes you're like, okay, like, do they have a point? Do they not? And it's just sometimes, you kind of second guess yourself. And it's just, I've learned you really can't do that. You have to be constantly in touch with who you are, what what quality and what content you produce, because everybody peaks at different times. Everybody has different audiences. Everybody has a different place in the streaming platform or in the content creation community, period. And there's different niches, obviously. You're not going to please everybody. I mean, you might look at people like, XQC, or on YouTube side, Mr. Beast, or anybody who's super popular. Not everybody even watches them. Not everybody likes their videos, and they're some of the biggest people on their respective platforms. And so it's like you have to look at that and really put that into perspective and say, okay, you're never going to please everybody. You're never going to be that person who, has to do it all because you feel like you want to get a piece of all the audiences, because I mean, then they're going to start to expect stuff of you. Like, hey, let's play this game today. Oh, I want to do this today. Oh, I even had somebody last month come in to my stream, and we were playing Jackbox. And we were doing a game, I think it was Quiplash, and they wanted to do the rat battles, the robot rat battles or something, and they said, okay, well, I want to play this. And I said, oh, well, I do polls in the chat, like on the Twitch chat of like what people want to do next. And Quiplash was next, so we went to go play that, and they said, okay, well, I guess I'll find another streamer because you're not playing what I wanted you to play. And I'm like, okay. It just gets to a point where you just kind of, you have to learn to be like, all right, see ya, whatever, because you're not going to please everybody. And you just have to know what you like, what your audience likes, what you're comfortable doing. Because if you're doing something you're not comfortable with, that's never going to work out. It's never going to be something you can't conform your content to what other people expect of you, because everybody has their own expectations, no matter how similar they may seem. So you just always have to make sure you keep in mind what you do is what you do. You're the creator, and it's up to people if they want to like it or not, And just like, and I don't mean to like plug, but this like this correlates. So I actually came out with stickers, right, for like the Phazer brand or whatever, and I basically put out, and I was like, hey, do you guys like these? Do you guys like the design? What do you guys think? And most people were like, yeah, it's nice, it's cool. And then there were some people like, oh, I like this design more. I don't necessarily like this design or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, was it not good? And I was thinking to myself, like, is it really that bad of a look? And then, there were people in there that came in and were like, hey, you're the creator, you're the person coming out with this. They should, pick the sticker up or whatever if they support you just in general. So it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of different. Oh, I guess that's my time. But it's a lot of different things where you just have to keep in mind, stick to who you are, stick to what you do best and what you're comfortable with, I suppose.
Right. There's such a good segment there. Honestly, hats off for you,
Thank
for
you.
understanding that you're more important. You're first. You're first when it comes to the content. Whether you're happier with it or not. You before the viewer, because you're the star of the show. So good on you for that. Congrats on the stickers and the cool little content stuff that you're doing
Oh,
over
thank you,
there.
thank you, thank you,
It's good
thank you,
stuff. And yeah. Honestly, that was such a good segment, dude. Really,
thank you,
really good
thank
one.
you. I
Really good
appreciate
one.
that. Appreciate that.
And Belle, whenever you are ready, the floor is yours. You get 10 uninterrupted minutes. Let us know how you feel.
All right. Well, I want to say that I have to agree with Unruly. That was a wonderful segment. I agreed.
Thank
I
you.
don't think there's anything I disagreed with you with. And I'm actually going to talk about some of the same uh subjects that you kind of brought up, because one of the biggest things is consistency. And anybody you ask, any of the big streamers, smaller streamers, medium streamers, anybody you ask will tell you consistency is the most important thing. And with that, that sounds like stream every day, put out a YouTube video every week, you put out a TikTok, 3 TikToks out every day, you make an Instagram post, you post in your Discord, you do all this, all that. And it got to me to the point where, like, because for me personally, I am disabled, I'm a disabled creator, so being able to do that sometimes is just not possible. It's just not. And I actually had I sit down with my boyfriend and I was just like, you know what? I'm afraid that I'm not going to be consistent enough to be someone in streaming. And he this is kind of funny, but he looked up consistency in the dictionary and he said consistency doesn't mean every day. And I was like, it just kind of clicked for me. Consistency doesn't mean I have to stream every day. It doesn't mean I have to put out a YouTube video every day or whatever. It means I have to do it over and over again in a way that is sustainable for me. And so I started doing that. I started streaming, a couple times a week. I started doing at least a TikTok a day because that's what I could handle. And I'm starting to see that slow growth, which, in my opinion, is kind of the better growth in the long run, because I feel like the slower growth kind of sticks with you a little bit longer, which is what you really want. And that kind of brings me to my second subject I want to bring up, was that the idea that growth is fast and permanent is so untrue. Unfortunately, not everybody is an overnight sensation, and one of my favorite ones to kind of point out is Ludwig. Ludwig is a huge streamer, but for 4 years he was around 20 average viewers for 4 years before he became anybody. And that kind of clicked for me. Like, I right now I average around 10 viewers and I'm doing really good, and there was a long time where I averaged around 5. Just like, Phazer, I did get to affiliate rather quickly, about 2 weeks after I started streaming, and I hit a wall. Thank you. I hit a wall, and I kind of had a hard time figuring out what I wanted my content to be, whether to keep people around that I didn't quite care for and play the games that they wanted me to play, or play games that I enjoyed but not have the viewers, or not have as many viewers. And just like Fraser said, I'm gonna have to agree, they can tell when you are not enjoying something, and you will lose viewers regardless. And that was kind of like a big, like, truth to chew for me. I was like, oh, so you guys can tell if I'm like really not feeling this game. Like, and I'll start games and then, like, I can just feel like I don't like this game, so you know what, I'm gonna switch back to this game, or I'm gonna switch it to this game instead. And and he's gotta flex it, it's a good suit. But like I had to flip back and forth like between games that I like, and for some reason my brain decided to like Apex a lot, so I stick with that one a lot. But it is a very fun game, and I've met a lot of really, really cool people. But I had people being like, I'd rather you play this game, and I was like, cool, go watch somebody who plays that game. Like, there's that's it. Like, I don't play that game anymore, or I don't like that game anymore. And a lot of people start to feel entitled to your content and to you, especially if you get people who donate bits or donate subs or money, and they're like, well, I just donated $10, so you need to do this. And I'm like, first of all, no, I don't. And a lot of people don't like that answer. They don't like being told no. I mean, nobody really does, but viewers especially don't like being told no. And so it's really hard when, there's a lot of people who kind of try and hijack who you are, in a sense. And so it's really weird, and that's like something that I haven't really encountered in any other career. Like I teach as a side career, and I teach music, and my music kids are sweet. Do they get entitled sometimes and want to do certain things? Yeah, but not to the same extent as I feel like people in streaming kind of get. And that comes up with boundaries, which is one of the subjects I did want to speak on, is learning to set boundaries. As a femme presenting person, a lot of people don't have boundaries with me, or they'll flirt with me in the comments or in the chat, or they will try to boss me around, or if I'm focusing in game, they'll be like, you should smile more. And I'm just like, hey, I don't like that you said that. I don't want you to say that. Please don't say that anymore. And they keep going. And, you don't want to ban people when you're so small because you want the viewer. But I just learned that I'm like, you know what? They end up driving away people who come in to watch me, to see me have a good time. If I'm obviously not having a good time, people aren't going to watch. And so I learned that sometimes I got to ban people. And sometimes I have to time them out. And sometimes, even though they gave me a lot of subs, I have to see them go. Because you know what? We just didn't work for each other, and that's okay. But it's something that is really, really hard to kind of learn, that it's okay, that you don't need to be walked over, even though you are a streamer, even though your income relies on, the viewer themselves. That still doesn't give them the right to use you. And the last kind of thing that I really, really wanted to talk about that I feel like has affected me the most is the algorithm, quote unquote, and AI. Main reason why is I actually looked into this. Like I did a huge amount of research with it with my boyfriend, and we kind of like looked into what makes an algorithm, what makes an AI, and this kind of ties into the second subject, but I did want to bring it up as a struggle as a content creator because I know it doesn't just only affect me. But it's really hard when the algorithm leans towards bigger creators, of course. I mean, with Twitch's discoverability, you gotta have 1,000 viewers to get on the front page ever, or you have to have at least 50 viewers to be near the top of this game, or whatever. And it makes it really, really hard. So you turn to Instagram, you turn to TikTok, Twitter, and then you find out that it kind of works the same there too. Bigger creators, of course, get pushed out more because they have more people liking and sharing their content. And then the smaller creators that do get put out, well, unfortunately, the algorithm and the AI that looks at the videos that you're producing, like, unfortunately, white male faces, which was something that kind of hurt to think about for me. Like, I've had videos I've worked really hard on that is like a popular trend. I did everything right, and it just won't go anywhere. Or I'll get shadow banned by like TikTok, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're not getting shadow banned. You're just not putting out good content." But when like you show proof that you are getting shadow banned, you get a lot of pushback on it, and it really, really does suck. But the way I kind of decided to go about that was just like, I am creating content to get discovered, of course, but I'm also creating content for me. And I just started creating content because I enjoyed it and because it was something that I really, really love to do. And at the end of the day, people really, really do see that, and they see that you put the time into something. They see that you put, effort, and that it's something that you obviously enjoy. Like, I have learned so many things just by seeing somebody else do it or having an idea and being like, I need to figure out how to do this, which was really, really awesome. And I think I'm close to 10-minute mark.
Go ahead.
Or
Keep going.
go ahead. Okay.
You're good.
I just have one more thing, which was the struggle of coming up with original ideas. Original ideas are so hard to do, and it is borderline impossible. There's 7 billion people on this planet, and you really think that someone didn't have the same thought as you? Like, it's it's just math at this point. But like, it's really hard, and I kind of came to terms with the idea that part of the originality is the fact that I'm doing it, and it's not somebody else. So it's like, it may be an idea from a huge streamer that a huge streamer has done before, but you know what? It's my reaction, or it's my face on top of it, or it's my voice, and that's what makes it original. And that was something that I was like, give credit for where credit is due. Of course, you always do, but the fact that somebody else did it first does not make it not original to me or not original to my channel. And that was something that I really, 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 really felt and really, really, really loved. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Good. Wonderful segment again. I love the idea of bringing up originality. Because you're absolutely right. There's so many freaking people on this ball that we share.
Yeah.
But the fact that you did it makes it original itself. Definitely. First of all, congrats on both of you guys. You guys hit affiliate so freaking fast. I was one fish in the giant ocean of Call of Duty players, and it took me 8 months to hit affiliate. 8 months.
Dude, insane.
8 months for me to sit in Scump's shadow.
Call of Duty was, yeah.
Yeah,
insane.
so props on you guys, because I was took me quite a bit. Took me a drive or two cross country.
I do have a question. I guess for people who aren't necessarily educated on the topic or do the research that you did. So what are some ways that I guess they suppress your content? Like, because I've never looked into it, and I'm not familiar with it. So how do they? I'm curious.
So basically, the main thing about it is AI. So AI
Okay.
was built by majorly white scientists. And so when they uploaded pictures into AI, so AI learns and kind of, it's artificial intelligence, so it has to be constantly learning. They didn't actually take into account other people that didn't look like them. So like, you'll have like filters on Snapchat where they'll be like, what do you look like, or who do you look like, and like, it'll pull up a random thing from Google or whatever. And for black people, it'll pull up monkeys, or it'll pull up gorillas, and that's actually like happened. And like, for white people, it pulls up like all these celebrities, and that's just because whoever's feeding the AI doesn't actually feed other cultures or other skin tones, features, and stuff like that. And so algorithms, they use AI constantly. They're scanning your videos, they scan your face, and they push you out to people that they think will like you. And so if you have an AI that's been fed, the foundation of AI has been really fed nothing but white faces, is, even if you do add some later, the base of it is still very much white, very much male. So it's really, really unfortunate. And the only way around it is try to encourage people to share your content and to share, you, because as you have more people doing that, the AI learns like, oh yeah, okay, so this one, even though it's an outlier to what everything else is saying, this one says that it's doing good, so we'll push it out. You know, and
So,
so it's sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And yeah, so it's like it's a problem with like the base software that a lot of people use when they're creating like apps, and it's also with
Okay.
just it's basically if you're not actively thinking about POC or black people or whoever, it's gonna be a mainly white platform, and that it's just unfortunate right now. But as we continue to grow in technology and science and stuff, I'm hoping it will change. But unfortunately, it kind of is what it is.
So it's like the same across all platforms because they all use the same software or similar software.
Pretty much, it's like
Okay.
it's the basis of what you learned. So like I was actually learning how to code
Oh,
for
okay.
a little
Well,
bit, and I was I was really into algorithms and how to create AI specifically because I was looking to create an app for some mental health stuff that I was really trying to push out. And I learned all of this and I was like, son of a I was like, oh my god, like damn, it's really just working against you, a little bit. And it's rough. Like, I've started streaming before. One of my good friends, she doesn't stream as consistently. She doesn't put out content as consistently as I do. And she doesn't hop on trends, but her TikToks and everything has hit For You pages. Like, she shot past me. And the only difference was that, she was white. And like we had that conversation with each other, and I was just like, I'm not saying like she doesn't deserve it at all. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like, dude, the math is literally stacked against me. Because she was like, why aren't you just as big as me or even bigger? And I was like, the math is stacked against me, my guy. And she was like, holy shit. It's just one of those things, unfortunately.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's new information for sure. Yeah, I just,
Yeah.
I've heard it and I just, I've never like looked into it and done, like I guess the in-depth research you did. So, yeah, that's really interesting to hear. Okay.
yeah. I've never thought of it that way, and I guess with AI, you teach it what you want to teach it, and if that group of people is developing it, they're gonna go for that group of people first, because that's
The funny thing is, it wasn't even. I personally don't think it was even done with the intention of being
probably not.
Just like
racist. I think
happened.
it's just
Mhm.
you have natural, when you think of a guy, the first thing you think of is like for you guys would probably be a white guy, because you're white. Whereas you go to somebody who's in Africa and you ask them think of a guy, and the first person they're gonna think of is somebody who's black. So it's like it's just the way your brain kind of works. Sometimes you look for patterns, you look for things that are familiar. And so I think that's what really just happened is, they're creating this really cool thing and they want to feed it all this stuff that's familiar to them. And if they live in a predominantly white area, they're not going to think of people like me. That's just is, you know?
And hopefully, that
Can,
changes.
can you
Find
guys
out.
hear that? Can you guys hear that? My roommates are being really loud. Is it?
Nope.
You're
No.
good? Oh,
No,
okay,
you're
cool, cool. All right.
good.
Nope. You're good.
All right, good.
But yeah, I'm glad you shared that information. Personally didn't know that, and I don't think on a level like that. When it comes to like people are people to me, I don't look at that, and I never did the science because I never felt I had to do the science because that's just the way I am. I look at everyone the same. But that's good information and opens up my mind a little bit.
Yeah, that's why, like, especially since this month is Black History Month, I constantly say, if you see a black person on your For You page, share them. If you see them anywhere, like, and you agree and like their content, share it, because they really, really, really need it. So, yeah.
Any other topics or something we want to brush over real quick when it comes to your struggles as a content creator or your communities that struggle? We all good?
Yeah, I think that's pretty. Yeah.
All right. Personally, for me, definitely my struggles have been being motivated and consistent as well. My YouTube channel is literally the definition of how inconsistent I can be. Sometimes push everything out, and then just you don't hear from me for 2 months, and it's
Yeah.
pretty bad. But I try to stream every day when I'm mentally all there, variety and all that, but definitely motivation, consistency. I like how you brought up consistency is how you're able to repetitively do it within your own limits. And that's something I never thought about. Consistency for me is ironing it all out.
Yeah.
Video. This platform taking care of it. I used to work social media for a company. Phazer might know. Jake Lucky. Big guy. Esports Talk.
Yeah.
So their parent company, Pre-Addiction. Last year I did an internship for them. So I was the machine of edit it for this, do Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Thumbnail that I was the machine. You know, when do you ever see the picture of when life gives you lemons and it's the person squeezing the lemonade juice? But they're like super tired, but they just have to keep doing it. That's what I was bred into, so to speak, when it came to social media. So I never thought of it that way, because when I was learning the tips and tricks for all the platforms, and then I had a quota to fill in every day, different thumbnails, different memes, links to this podcast, links to this YouTube video. It was iron this out. So I'm glad that you mentioned something about consistency being true to you, because I was true to do this or you're out, buddy, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely for you. Like, you know, it's consistent. Like, consistency means nothing. Like, we let other people assign what consistency means to us. I'm sure everybody's seen the TikToks of, you need to post 3 times a day under this trending sound, or like, you know, you have to, otherwise you're not gonna get anywhere. And I'm just like, that's not true. It's just not, you know. And unfortunately, you know, will doing those things actually help you? Sure, but is it on the only way? No. And, you know, do it as much as you can. I know you stream every day. I'm like, I love being in there. You know, I'm there. But like, sometimes I'm like, bro, please go take a nap. You know?
I took a nap before this because of my work schedule. My work schedule this weekend was atrocious. I was like, I should probably take a nap before I do this. Otherwise, these two might be like, dude, get out of here, man. We'll do this some other time.
Dude, I've ended stream before and gone, alright, you know what? I just need to go take a nap. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you guys later. And I end stream and I just go knock out. Like, it's just...
Sometimes it has to happen. Has to happen.
Yeah, you at the end of the day, I think Phazer said this, you come first.
Right.
You come first.
Definitely. Big topic. That was such a good segment, by the way. Such a good segment. But that leads into the next one. Stigmas, stereotypes, and the BS you've had to deal with. That story, dude. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. So take it away. Take it away. 10 minutes is yours.
Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to set a timer. I'm a punctual person. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. So, basically, the Walmart Ninja story, how I got that nickname and everything like that. Okay, so first, if we describe, you know, the man Tyler Blevins, Ninja, right? You know, he's known notoriously, and it's in his branding. He used to at least wear it every stream. His signature bandana, right? Wear the bandana, you know, he's, you know, skinny dude, blonde, or whatever color his hair was at the time, and he's over here, you know, streaming, and, you know, he's very passionate, he's, you know, known to be very good at games, all that type of stuff. And so, the funny thing is, I actually was wearing bandanas before I knew who that guy was. So, I actually was wearing bandanas before I started streaming. And obviously, I used to be in the space of, I'm on YouTube, like as far as like trying to make YouTube videos and stuff, that didn't go so well. But basically, I thought, you know, what about streaming? You know, I feel like instead of, because I never felt, I'm not a rehearsed person. I'm not somebody who can, you know, like all my notes, you want to see my notes? That's my notes. Like literally it's 3 bullet points and like I just go. Like I'm not a rehearsed person for really anything, and I'm just kind of like I just go off the cuff. So whenever I have something to talk about, I just kind of go and go and go. And I've always hated the idea of creating YouTube videos because when I tried to do it, I didn't know where to edit. I didn't know when to stop talking, when to pick up talking again to make the transition kind of seamless. So I decided, let me go into live streaming and see what happens. So when I went into live streaming, obviously, I think this used to, unless I'm imagining this, I'm pretty sure when you went to Twitch and created your account, they always put, because he was like one of the top or the top streamer at the time, they put Ninja's stream like as recommended, or like they would make you follow like like him or someone like similar. I don't know. They like made you look at his channel first, and then, or like it was on the homepage or something like that. But his was the first channel I ever saw. And so I was like, oh, okay, he's cool. But I was already wearing bandanas by then. So I started streaming, and, you know, I have like 24 bandanas, different colors in my drawer over there. But like, I love wearing them, right? So I would wear them in my streams. And then obviously it wasn't noticeable at first because I didn't have anyone in there. But then when I started to get more people, everyone was like, yo, you're a ninja wannabe. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you're trying to be just like it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't play really the same games or anything like that. And they were like, well, you're wearing a bandana. I was like, oh, cool. I guess that means I'm him, right? And so it was just a situation where, and it wasn't even the same bandana. Like he wore like the long stringy one that like dangled in the back. I just wore like a regular one you pick up at Walmart or something. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're the first they called me like knockoff ninja, and then they were saying it was Walmart ninja because, you know, the cheap version of ninja or whatever." Then I actually got called what is that other one? Not Walmart, but it's not where I am because I don't have this where I'm around, but it's some other store. They call me like some other store, and then they call me Tifu. So like I'll just say Dollar Store Tifu or something like that. Like they would call me that because he's also a blonde dude. You know, he's kind of like really passionate into gaming and stuff like that. So I got called all those things, and so eventually there was a period in time where I went through like a month or 2 months straight of streaming where literally at least one person would spam Walmart Ninja in my chat every single stream. Like every single one. Oh, it's Walmart Ninja. Oh, it's Walmart Ninja. And I'm like sitting there like, for real? You know? And it was funny because like I would explain to people, I never knew who that guy was. I don't know, like I didn't know who he was before I started wearing them, and now that I guess he's so popular, people just automatically associate like, you know, his face with mine, his bandana with mine, and all that type of stuff. And so it just kept on, it grew into this thing where people would think, okay, well, like, is your personality similar to his? Is your reactions similar to his? Is your gameplay similar to his? And if not, you need to do it more like him if you're gonna try to knock him off and like rip him off. And I'm like, but I'm not. And so it just got into this thing where it was an ongoing like argument, almost like, I'm not trying to be this guy. So there went in a period in time where I just took off the bandana because I was like, okay, like I don't want people to have the impression that I'm trying to rip this dude off. And so it got to a point where I would only wear bandanas in my like personal time, like, you know, when I went to class or like when I went out somewhere, like, you know, whatever. And then I remember it died down, and then I put on my bandana like months later in a stream because I just happened to be wearing one. And I started the stream, and I kid you not, almost instantly, Walmart Ninja. I was like, bro, okay. So wow. Then I was just kind of like, whatever, dude, I don't care. So I just like, I wear them whenever I feel like it at this point. But I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, I guess when people associate, because he's like iconic for his bandana, he sells them as merch, whatnot, and he kind of, I guess, popularized them on Twitch. I don't know if he really did, but at least from my experience, that's where like I saw the bandana the most. So I guess people just associated me with him. But it's been an ongoing thing. I mean, even the other day I was called Walmart Ninja. It's kind of like, you know, it's like a gag almost at this point. And it's not something I really care about anymore, but I used to care about it because it's like that's the worst thing ever if you go in and you're like, okay, this guy's trying to rip off this content creator. Because I was watching this video today of, do you guys follow Magic? This relates, I promise. Do you follow Magic at all?
The card
like
game?
Magic tricks? Like magic tricks.
Okay.
Magic, yeah.
Somewhat.
So do you know who Shen Lim is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, he won like AGT champions and all that stuff. Okay, so he has this trick where he blows smoke out of his mouth and then does all these cool like card changes. Yeah. Well, there's another guy that went on like Italy's Got Talent. It was Italy's Got Talent, an Italian magician, completely ripped off his move. and basically like did the same movements. His hands were in the same spots, and all these magicians were calling him out like, "Yo, you're ripping him off. You're ripping him off." And that dude's stock just plummeted. Like, okay, you're gonna rip him off, like, and you didn't even give him credit. You didn't even ask permission to steal his act and all that stuff. Like, he got like toasted. And so I've seen other instances like that long time ago where I just like it's always a bad look if people don't have the context. But you have everybody else saying this guy's trying to be this guy, he's trying to steal his content, he's trying to look like this guy, he must be jealous of this guy because he wants to look like him, or he must not be confident in his own personality because he's trying to be like this guy. And it couldn't be further from the truth. It's just kind of like it's a style choice. Like, you know, just because I'm wearing a white T-shirt, I don't want to be like Charlie. You know, like Moist Critical or whatever. You know him. Yeah, I'm not trying to be him because I'm wearing a white T-shirt. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just, I feel like a lot of people can get out of hand with that. They can just kind of look at things and be like, okay, well, I see similarities, so I'm gonna assume you're trying to be that person. And I guess that's as far as it gets for me in terms of stereotypes. Because I've never been really stereotyped. Well, I guess because I'm blonde, people call me stupid sometimes. But like, I've been stereotyped in terms of like, if I don't get a joke, people will be like, "Oh, he's blonde, it's okay," or they'll say like "blonde moment" or something like that. But for the most part, the Walmart Ninja thing, sometimes dollar store Tifu. You know, I've been called knockoff Gordon Ramsay before because I like to cook and like, you know, I wear my hair up sometimes like him. So they call me knockoff Gordon Ramsay or whatever, and that one's really funny, honestly. But yeah, it just comes down to those two main things, like blonde moment if I don't get something, or just being compared to mostly Ninja because of the bandanas and stuff. Like, and like I said, I was wearing them before I knew who he was, so it's I don't know, it just kind of like the timing was bad or whatever. Because I know other people who wear bandanas and they don't get any of that shit. Like, I'm sorry, can I not?
You're good.
Oh,
You're
okay,
good.
okay. Well, anyway, yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, but they don't get any of that. So it's like, you know, why me? Is it because I'm blonde as well, or do I look like? I don't know. I don't think I look like him, but I mean, it's just some people just, you know, kind of draw that connection, and that was just one of the main things that really bothered me when I first started. But now it's just an ongoing joke. But as far as stigmas and stereotypes, that's really all I got. I mean, I can't say other than that I've gotten stereotyped. Like I said, besides hair, like the blonde and that stuff. So yeah, I mean that's really it for me as far as stigmas and stereotypes. But
It's a good story. That's a good story. I think one of your
Thank you,
profile
thank
pictures
you.
for the longest time was the bandana. I never thought about it, but I think bandanas are cool. But like,
dude,
that's tough to be like correlated or like as a knockoff. See,
Yeah.
there it
Yeah.
is. I think the one before that was yellow. I don't remember what social media it was because I've been following you for a while. I think one was yellow.
Oh
at the time.
yeah. Oh, I was wearing sunglasses indoors,
Yeah,
right?
there it was. There it
Okay,
is. It was the
so
yellow one.
I was so the story behind that picture, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you guys know what Payway is?
No.
No.
Oh shit, you know what PF Chang's is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Payway is like a faster food version of PF Chang's. It's a sit-down restaurant, but like they also have they don't have a drive-through, but you can go in and sit down, but it's like a cheaper PF Chang's. And it's so good, right? So I was out actually with my one of my mods in my stream. And you know, I was out with him and we were having dinner. And I had Kung Pao chicken, love it, right? So what I did was I said, "Yo, take this picture really quick." And I had my cell phone in one hand, acting like my mouse, and I had my other hand on his wallet or my wallet, acting like it was a keyboard. And I basically put a plate down on the floor, put my cup on top of the plate, and then another plate on top of the cup to simulate like a monitor. And I was like this, like I was hunched over like this, and I said, "Take the picture." And it was a yellow bandana with like shades on indoors. And I went through some like weird phase where I would wear sunglasses indoors for some weird reason. Like even if it was nighttime, I would still wear sunglasses. I thought it was cool. But basically, I would do that, right? Like I would walk into Walmart, people would be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I was like, just walking past them with shades on, bro. It was the dumbest thing. So, but I was wearing them inside, and yeah, I was like this, and he took the picture, and I was like, you know what? That looks like a good profile picture. And so I put it on, and I joined a couple Discord servers. First thing they said, "Is that Ninja in your profile picture?" I'm not even kidding. The first thing people said, any Discord server I joined. But yeah, that's the story behind that. But yeah, I remember that one.
You did it better than Ninja. You did it better than Ninja.
Of course I did.
You made a monitor out of your Chinese food. You did it better. Have to do it better.
Yeah, dude, got that phone mouse, you know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. So next is
High-tech.
Bell. And I'm super excited for this one because, like I said, you're here because you have the opportunity to enlighten so many people because of the communities you represent. So the floor is yours. Teach me.
The only thing is, like, I'm gonna try and keep it under 10 minutes, but I have a lot kind of
okay.
to say. But what's it called? The first one, or I'm just gonna say the three things I'm gonna majorly talk about is me being a femme presenting person, me being black slash Latina, and being disabled. So those three things are the three things that I get yeah.
What is I've never heard femme presenting. What does that mean?
Uh, so it's basically a person who dresses femininely or
Okay.
presents himself as a female.
Okay.
Sorry. I just say that to be inclusive because yeah. But so first thing being, femme presenting person is the amount of shit I get. I don't talk in games. I don't say anything, and like I do put TTV in my name so people come and they'll be like, "We lost because you're a girl." Or, "Oh my god, we have a girl. I'm in a DC." Like, "Oh my god, we have a girl. It's going to be bad." And I just get that so much. It's really really honestly ridiculous. To the point where I try to be nice to everybody. That is one of the main things. Like, if you come to my channel, I'm nice to everyone, within reason. And when I say within reason, I mean, you give me some negative energy, I will give it to you right back. Like, people will talk shit to me in Apex, and they'll be like, you suck, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whatever, shut up, bitch. And, like, I just move on, and they, like, get mad, and then they go down. And I'm like, oh, who wants a res? Who wants a res? You do? Oh, that's really rough. And like, we'll be in ranked, and I'm like, you're not gonna res me in ranked, and I was like, I will lose 36 RP to not play with you, bro. Like, it's like I kind of have to do that because otherwise, like, the amount, like, I used to just get people coming in chat and just being like, oh shit, gameplay, never mind, leaving, like, just because all they saw was me in a dress. And like, I was just like, you know what, dude, like, I used to just be like, oh, just ban, just ignore, don't say anything to them. And then I just got fed up one day. And I was just like, I'm tired of being quiet and letting people be mean to me just because I'm a girl. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, fuck you. Like, and I get in their face. But, the other thing I also want to kind of tie into that is a lot of people, I don't wear makeup usually. I have a lot of acne, which you can kind of see. Obviously, I don't hide it. Makeup really causes it yeah. Makeup really causes it to be, like, even worse. I only wear makeup on stream once in a while when I want to. I don't wear makeup for every stream. I don't wear makeup for almost anything but a good reason. Too. So I don't do that. And so a lot of guys will come in and be like, you're gonna be a girl in streaming and not even wear makeup. And I'm just like, what? Like, that makes no sense. Because if I wear makeup, then I'm being a whore on stream to get views or get money. And, like, there's this whole idea that I get a ton of money because I'm a girl. And I'm just like, dude, I don't. I get money because people want to give it to me, but not because I'm a girl. And, a lot of people are like, no, that's not how it works. You're a girl, you get money all the time. I'm like, no, it's not. And if I wear something that is form-fitting, I'm whoring myself out. If I wear a big baggy t-shirt, I look like shit, and I feel like there's no winning with it, and it really, really, really does suck. And then kind of tying into that is, as I started standing up for myself, I have gotten the racism card even, like, more. So I get the, like, loud black woman trope or loud Latina, feisty Latina trope, and I'm just like, what? So it's like, if I'm not an automatic pushover, I'm being a feisty Latina, or if I'm not being a pushover, or if I stand up for myself, like, they think I'm doing too much, where, people, like, no offense, and really, I am going to use you as an example, but, like, you can get very heated, and you can yell at people, and no one will really, like, say anything to you unless, like, you're going too far. But, like, even then, it takes a lot before people are, like, kind of like, hey, Whereas for me, I say one thing and they're like, hey, I think you're doing too much. And I'm just like, oh, so he gets to call me a bitch. He's not the one doing too much. He's not the one being extra. I am, because I decided to say, hey, no, that's not how it works. You know, and it really, really, really does suck. And, you know, I do get a lot of racist comments. You know, I've gotten people coming in the chat saying the N-word, or, you know, calling me dirty. I actually just recently, like a couple days ago, and this kind of stung a little bit. I got, like triple or quadruple rated during a stream. And it was really awesome. And, you know, I'm doing Black History Month streams, and, you know, I'm trying to get a lot of kind of attention, because, not to plug myself, but I am going to be doing a charity stream for Black Girls Code, and I'm going to be doing like a lot of stuff. And I got triple rated by a lot of people who really support me and everything, and I got a hate message in a DM from an anonymous account saying, you only got those raids because you're black and it's Black History Month. You don't actually deserve them. And I was like, what? Like, how? Like, what do you... I didn't understand what somebody got out of saying that, which is why it stung so much. Like, sure, the N-word, whatever. Like, that doesn't bother me anymore, like, getting called a girl, whatever, but that was so specific, the fact that they were probably watching me, that, you know, they were what I like to say, a dedicated hater, you know, and, they were there, and they were like, yeah, they said that to it, and I was just like, I didn't even know what to say to it, and, like, I kind of, like, talked to my mods, excuse me, I kind of, like, talked to my mods, and I was like, I know this isn't true, and I'm not looking for necessarily, like, pity or anything like that, but I'm just like, can you guys explain to me what possibly somebody would have got out of this? You know, and they were just like, you know, they're just being a bitch, they're just a hater, and, you know, they cheered me up, which was really, really nice. But, like, it's just, you know, it's so rough, when you get a lot of that, and, you know, you see, the other thing is, like, I'm scared, especially this month, to get hate raided. There is a lot of my black friends are getting hate raids, unfortunately, this month, with just disgusting things, being said. One of my Discord actually got hate raided, in a sense, where a bunch of people joined and spammed, like, racist messages. Luckily, I was on a break at that time, so, like, I was able to delete everything really quickly, and nobody really saw, except, like, maybe a handful of people. But I was like, what the hell? You know, I literally have a dedicated panic button on my stream deck, just in case I get hate raided. And, like, it's something that I have to consciously think about, like, especially this month. I asked my mods, hey, is any mods gonna be there today? If not, I just need to prepare. You know, like, I have to, like, think about it, and, like, it's just so awful, you know? And then the last thing is me being disabled. You know, I have what's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It is a connective tissue disorder, so all of the connective tissues in my body break down and don't come back the same way as yours do. And I also have a heart condition as well, where I have a hole between my left and right ventricles. So if my heart starts pounding a little too much, it kind of actually can be very bad, which is why I've been staying away from scary games, once I found out I had that. But, you know, like, one of the things, like, that kind of happens is, like, oh, it's a disabled creator, like, I will never be good at Apex is one of the things that I got told by somebody who I thought was close to me. But, like, he was like, you know, you'll never be up in the top. You know that, right? And I was like, what? And, like, it was a whole conversation. Like, he just said it like it was, like, an obvious fact. He's like, yeah, it's like, there's just no way. Like, you just won't ever, like, have the skills. And I was just like, no. And so he's part of the reason why I started really, really grinding Apex and really, like, hey, I'm good at this game, and I can be good at this game. I got foot pedals that I use when my hands hurt. I got into plat, and he's never been out of gold for. Like, no. You know what I mean? And, like, and next season, I'm gonna hit diamond. Like, and I'm almost hellbent on becoming stupid good at this game just to tell that guy, like, no, that's not how this works. You know, and it's just it really sucks, you know, when I have had a lot to be stereotyped on, or I face a lot of, like, these stigmas and judgment from people, and, I can't, I do want to say, like, Phazer, like, I'm jealous in a sense that, like, the only thing you got was, like, Walmart Ninja. Oh, even though that's, like, really fucked up, because I did kind of want to say, like, just, like, as something as dumb as a bandana, like, really, like, that's so dumb. Like, talk about bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, you, whatever. But, like, I hear people like, oh, I just dealt with this, and it's something, like, really small, and it's just like, damn. Sometimes, like, I just sit here and think, like, I wish I could be in those person's shoes. Like, there's not a day that goes by lately that I haven't thought once a day, like, damn, I wish I was white. And that is, like, such a, like, scary, in a sense, scary thought, but it's also disappointing to think, because I know, like, my ancestors and my family, you know, won't ever want me to say that or hear that, but it's just like, I wish I was white sometimes, you know, and it's, you know, I'm glad I'm not, but I'm also like, damn, a lot of things would be, I feel, different if I was, you know. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry, I know I probably went
No,
off
you're
tangent,
good.
that's my bad.
Like I said, I chose you as one of the co-hosts or co-stars because I know that you come from many places, and regardless of the audience, I'd just learn something. So, not saying that you're here for that specific reason, but I know that you can educate a lot of people, and you have the power and the person to educate someone and not be afraid. Or maybe you are, but that's okay. But the fact that you're able to come up here and let people know that, hey, this isn't cool, this is what I deal with, and what the hell's wrong with you for saying this? Because that's not true. That's disrespectful. Like, I was in that stream when you got the multiple raids. I was like, you killed it. Good job. You know, you were having fun. I knew it. And to hear that some random anonymous, seriously, anonymous, you're hiding behind a monitor and you're anonymous, in my opinion, you're a pussy. And then said that to you for no reason. You got all that because of who you are. Well, I mean, you're sharing your community, the other people in the community. I mean, that was the topic at hand, but you killed it, that stream. You did that. Not the idea of it. You did that. So I'm proud that you were able to brush that person aside and power through it, and you had a killer freaking stream. I was there. I told you whenever I stopped in right at the end of it, I was like, you fucking killed that shit. So I'm glad that, and I'm sorry that you had to deal with that stuff. The panic button is such a smart idea, but the fact that it has to be there because of such a sick thing that goes on in the community, and I wish Twitch would do something about it, but they really don't. I mean, they promote what they promote, but you know, you've broken down the AI. They know what they're doing over there. They know what they're doing over there. So kudos for you for talking about it. I'm proud that you brought that up, and I'm sorry that you start your journey looking up instead of looking down at all the challenges. So good job again. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that stuff. And I'm go ahead.
Sorry. I was like, you don't have to apologize at all. Like, never.
No, I mean,
not you doing it.
No, it's not me, but it's
just the sentiment. Yeah.
I don't deal with that. I don't know if Phazer does in any way possible, but I don't have to. I don't click live for the fear of me being who I am, and that's tough. That's a battle that you have to deal with that I don't, and I wish you didn't have to deal with that. And with the stigmas and stuff that I've dealt with, I personally have never had to deal with race or where I come from as a thing. And that just might be privilege. That just might be I can't pretend that I know what you're talking about or how you go through, because that's the battle I've never fought or never been exposed to.
I just appreciate you listening and giving me a platform to tell my story.
That's the least
and
I could
you're
do.
doing more than enough just by doing that. You're doing more than what most people do.
I have a question, like
Sure.
that relates to this. Do I look like someone who you'd wanna like mess with on if you join my stream? Like, do I look like? 'Cause there's a reason I'm asking this. A little bit.
Okay.
Like to mess
Is it
with, like
is it because of the
you
suit?
No, can I give a reason?
Yeah, sure.
I hope you don't like feel weird about
I'm
me
not.
saying
I'm
this,
not.
but
I'm not offended if
you
you're worried about that.
I think what you're also not kind of taking into an account is one, you're very attractive. So the thing is one, girls are gonna make fun of you because you're cute, and it's kind of like a little playful thing, and then boys are gonna make fun of you because they're jealous. So it's
Definitely haven't thought about it from that angle at all. But okay, okay.
it actually happens if you look at more of the like kind of attractive guys, like they do get kind of teased a lot. It's one of those like dumb, like, oh, you're cute, so I'm gonna make fun of you because I like you and I don't know what to do with these feelings.
Oh, because the reason that I ask is because I've actually had people, I wouldn't necessarily call them hate raids, but there was a raid in particular where I was playing Jackbox not too long ago, maybe a month ago or something like that. And basically, there was a situation where these people, like, it was weird. Like, I got raided, but my Streamlabs or my, my creator dashboard did not pick up that I got raided. So, like, it didn't say, oh, so-and-so raiding with a party of whatever. But I got raided, right? And, like, 14 people joined. And then all of a sudden, they were like, oh my gosh, this guy is the best streamer ever. Like, talking about the guy that raided me. And saying, oh my gosh, he raided me, he raided me, he raided you or something. And then they were joining saying, oh yeah, like take off your shirt on stream, show. And I'm pretty sure these were dudes, and they were like, do this, and they were like, flex, and they were like saying all this stuff. And then they joined the game anonymously, and they ruined it for everybody because they joined and started dropping hard RN words in the game because we were playing Quiplash, and they started saying, it was like, what is one thing you hate and wish you could change or something, and they would say that. And then I'm just like, okay. And so immediately, like, obviously I went full screen like you see right now, and I like I restarted the game, and I made it to where people had to link their Twitch accounts to be able, and that would be their username. So twitch.tv/the Phazer for me. Like I couldn't put, Mike Hawk or something like in the game. I would have to put my actual username, and it would be a situation where at least if somebody said it at that point, I could ban them, and I could keep them from joining or kick them if I saw them join again, because like there have been like several instances of that. And obviously, like, I'm not a black person, and I assume they're not doing that to insult my race. So it just almost seems like people come in there just to say it because they think it's funny or something, and they're like, oh, I said this, and like, they spam stuff, or like they'll join the Twitch chat and, say it like one letter at a time in the chat, and like, you know what I mean? Like they'll go one letter at a time and stuff. It's just, I mean, it happens to me, and not probably not as often, obviously, but like it's happened like 2 or 3 times, and it's like, I don't get it. It's just, it seems pointless to do that. I just never really understood it, and it kind of ruins it for everybody because it's like, obviously I have to not show that anymore, and we have to end the game, and everybody was having a good time, and it's like that one person who was doing that, or 2 people, it's like, okay, good job, like, now what? It's just it's strange.
That is a hate raid, by the way.
Okay.
That is a hate raid, and I'm really sorry that you had to deal with that. That is just not cool.
Oh, they got the quick ban hammer. The quick.
That's good.
Just crack down the ban hammer so quick. I was like, yeah.
I do think it's also like they do try to get like probably you in trouble, because a really 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 dumb thing is that like on Twitch, you can get banned for what's going on in chat sometimes. And so like they'll do that, they'll come and do it and then report you quickly, and if you don't catch it fast enough, or if Twitch deems that it was your fault, they'll ban you instead. Right. And so like that is something that is done often. So like that kind of, I just feel really bad.
Yeah, that's why for a while I put follower only mode on, because a lot of times it would be a situation where they would be actual bots. Like, I actually got hit offline one time during my stream because of a bot. So they joined my stream, and like literally a minute after they joined, because one of my mods was on mod view, and they could see like who was joining and stuff, and someone popped in, and then like literally a minute later, my stream went offline, and they were the only bot in the chat. And nothing was happening. My internet, I have very good internet. I'm like Ethernet hooked up, all good. Nothing was wrong. And then all of a sudden it just happened. And I was like, okay. So I restarted stream. And then I noticed like these are bots that aren't really following. They're just kind of there. They're like chat bot raiders or something. I don't know. So I put follower only mode on and it stopped happening. But then somebody followed the other day, and maybe people who are in the stream right now watching this that are from my chat, you guys maybe would like remember this. A guy joined, followed so he could chat, said, "Oh, follower only mode, I'm unfollowing." And I'm like, okay, like that's cool. Like, like, are you proud of yourself? Like, he just literally followed just to say unfollowed and then unfollowed, and I was like, okay, hashtag banned. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just like people like that are so weird. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just like they're weasels or something. I don't. It's strange.
It's this idea that like it comes back to the entitlement that I was talking about, where they feel entitled to you. And that was like something that kind of ties into like the whole racist thing, where it's just like people are like, "Oh, you always have to have your chat on. Like you can't have it on subscriber or follower only chat mode ever."
Yeah.
And like that was something I saw going around TikTok, like never put it on follower only mode, and I was like, that is coming from a place of privilege. I'm like, I can't. Sometimes I have to have follower only mode on, because I've had people just come in and just say the most nefarious shit that is just awful. And it's just like, yeah, you can do all that. And then, you can have it off, but then I have to deal with this all the time just because you feel entitled to be in my chat without following me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just, that guy was stupid and good ban.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's like I usually have one or two mods in chat at all times, like when I am streaming sometimes, mostly one, sometimes two. And literally like I just have like /ban copy pasted like a lot of times before my stream. So I'm like /ban. And then I just like, sometimes I have the right click, like you right click their name and you drag down to ban and just hit that. Most times I do that because that's quicker, but then they'll start to do their names. Like one guy kept following and making new accounts, and it was like Phazer hates black people was one of the names, but they did it with numbers. So like it would get past the Twitch detection, or like, they would do Phazer and then I can't say the rest, but they would say that. And then they would do like a bunch of different, like, yeah, like Zuko, he's one of my mods in the chat right now. And he was like 4 different accounts, and he was like numbers. Like he would do capital I's and lowercase L's, so you didn't know what was what. And so like you couldn't like really ban him, because if you got one letter wrong, you have to like retype it or like change every single one to see how it was. And it's just like, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, at this point, like sometimes I don't know what to do other than like go to follower only mode. I've never had to go sub only, thankfully, but like if I had to go to follower only, like I don't know how I would stop that, because if that person keeps making the same accounts, all I can do is ban and hope that like he doesn't create another account, because if he does, I'm gonna have to keep banning, and that just takes away time and energy from the stream. And it's like at this point, if you allow it, then you're allowing hate content, which can get you banned. But if you don't, what do? You end stream and then you ruin it for everyone, or you take away focus and energy from the stream because you have to ban this person. I feel like there should be like an option to IP ban somebody, because there's not. And I think that if you could IP ban somebody, that would solve a lot of the issues,
like one of the things that Twitch did start doing is like having, like, to be in chat, like they have to have a phone number now attached to it.
Okay, that's cool.
And like or a verified email. And like I was like, verified email, cool and all, but that's not that hard to create a new Gmail real quick. And like especially nowadays on how easy it is. I have like 6 different emails for like all the shit I do. You know what I mean? Like if I was hell-bent on harassing someone, I could do it easily. And like so I was kind of glad for the phone number thing, but I don't even have that on my chat. What I do really recommend doing the panic mode button. And like if you'd like, I could totally teach you how to do that.
What is that? What does it do?
So I have mine do it's a multi-action thing.
Yeah,
Let me
from Stream
pull it up
Deck.
Stream Deck real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm
Um,
familiar with that, but yeah, that's cool, interesting.
but yeah, mine like it's for hate rates. So
Uh-huh.
mine automatically puts it to sub chat. It plays an ad. It clears the chat and puts it on slow chat. And it changes my OBS to a source to be right back.
That's
Um,
advanced.
It goes it creates a stream marker so I can report it to Twitch. It creates a clip of it as well, and it puts out a chat message saying, what did mine say again? Sorry for sub-only mode and ads. We are being hit with a hate raid and / follow botting. Please bear with me.
That's extremely
Wow,
advanced.
that is insane.
That's a well thought out.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's actually I knew the multi-action was the thing. I didn't know you could do like 10 things at once. That's very advanced, actually. That's
Yeah.
really
that's
idea.
creative.
And then
That's
after
very
it's done,
creative.
I can I have a button that undoes all that stuff. So
That's
yeah.
really good. Do you have
So if you'd like me to teach you guys that, I can totally do that.
Do you have the regular size Stream Deck, or do you have the mini or the XL, or
I have the
which one do you?
regular.
Okay, me too. Okay, so you have enough space. Okay, cool. Yeah,
You
that's
can always make folders within it too.
yeah, that's very
Wow.
helpful to know. I didn't know that was a thing, but okay.
I think you should make a video
Explaining how to do that,
and then actually post it and share it with other friends, content creators, because I've had friends that have been hate rated. I've had friends that have been hate rated. I've been follower botted. I've had instances where I've had an angry viewer, and I'll talk about it with the stigmas in my portion, where they make multiple accounts with harassing names and trolling. So I personally think you should make a video on how to make that, because that is insane to run an ad, change everything so that you could monitor chat easily. You clear the chat, the clip, so you could report it to the bosses over at. That's insane. Like, because I've never even thought about that.
Definitely enlist your help if you could, because you're the YouTuber.
I just put it on my notes.
I haven't made a YouTube.
That's the fourth one, by the way.
Definitely do that. Yeah. I subscribe to him, follow him. But no, I will definitely do that then.
That's such a good idea. Holy hell.
Crazy of a good idea. I got you.
That's definitely a good idea. That would help so many people. I don't have a Stream Deck. I use like the number pad, but like.
But no, you might have a harder time. Mine's specifically for but maybe I can look into something.
But like that's just.
For you too. Oh,
that'd be so helpful to
There's
people.
a way to do that. It could actually. You have a Logitech mouse, right?
Yeah.
We could do it where it's a button on your mouse.
That'd be crazy.
Or just a macro you start. But yeah, no, we could do that.
But any other ideas or segments you guys want to talk about before I do mine?
Good on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're good.
So, I've never been racially hate rated or racially hated on in any of my content, and that just might be because of how it is, unfortunately. But I've had instances. I had a viewer. This is when Blackout, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, when Blackout was the big BR at the time.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I killed a kid who was one of my viewers in one of the games, and this kid was hell-bent pissed. This 12-year-old kid was so angry every way possible, every bad word possible in chat that he knew that he would get in trouble for, and I would ban him every time. He would make usernames that was Unruly's piece of shit, yada yada yada. Unruly hates kids. This guy.
It's not funny, but that's funny.
It's
the fact that he's 12. I mean,
right. It's just like this guy. This poor kid was so hellbent on just insulting me, roasting me. I came from a competitive Call of Duty instance, so you don't even know the guy, but you've known him for 5 minutes. You beat him in a series of competitiveness, and you're over the monitor yelling at this guy, insulting his mother. So I'm used to stuff like that, and it's an unfortunate toxic side of COD, but I literally probably spent 20 minutes trying to follower-only mode, try to figure out how to stop this 12-year-old from just going at my neck, creating all these disgusting usernames, coming at people in chat for like calling him cringe. Like, this kid was on a mission. And I've been follower botted before, but like not like in a hate raid sense, but like Twitch has that problem where like the random botted stuff comes through. I've had instances of be from like the nerdy side, the skinny nerdy white boy of me. I've been told that I've looked like a school shooter. In my COD days. Yes, it's actually, it was very hard at the time because like that was the shit talk. That was the shit talk. It wasn't like oh, you suck at the game or anything. It was like, dude, you look like a school shooter. Like, get off the game. So and that's happened multiple times. And it's something that I've never, like, of course I never would do something like that, but it's just the fact that someone looks at me and refers to me as someone like, hey, it was the Texas massacre shooting that was what, 2018? No. It was the Texas one. It was right after the Newtown one that was down in. There's a Texas one.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't? No, that was in Colorado. That was in Aurora, Colorado. Are you sure it wasn't Virginia Tech?
No, it was. Maybe
I remember.
There was. It's so sad. It's so gross.
I don't know. The church one. The church one, right? Oh. The one where that guy shot the guy that was an NRA instructor shot the shooter. That guy or that one.
It might have been. It was right after the Newtown one that was.
He like shot him across the highway. That was accurate as hell.
I don't know. It was right after that, and it was when school shootings was like the media thing at the time. It was the media storm. That was the insult that this guy came in, and it was like, and like it's multiple people agreed with him in chat and all that stuff. I was like, dude, like, what the hell is wrong with you?
The thing is, they probably think about that stuff. Like, they probably have it pre-planned just so they can say it to somebody. Like, okay, today's insult, school shooter. Oh, yes. And then they write it down. And then, like, if someone pisses them off, okay, yeah. And then, like, perfect opportunity to use it. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you think about it.
The one that is popular, that is still used, and the one that I am very adamantly against is the kill yourself.
Yeah, that one.
And
yeah.
That one is really, 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 really close to home because I think you know this, Unruly, but if not, I know people in chat that came from my channel definitely know because I talk about it frequently. I had 2 friends within a 9-month span kill themselves back when I was in high school. I was a high school senior. And that is one that I do not say, and if anybody says that, I'm like, no, you're not going to say that if you're playing with me. If you say it again, you will never play with me again. Like, it's just one of those things that that one where I'm like, that has been around since Call of Duty days. Yeah. Like, that has stuck around and everything, and that's the one where I'm just like, no, we're not going to do this today. Because you don't know. Like, you really, really don't know. Like,
of course.
That's the last straw for someone, you know? Like, it's just like,
That's one that's not cool. I represent the suicide awareness badge in Apex for related reasons of my own personal mental problems and self-harm, among with knowing other people that. So I completely agree with you there. And then the only other stigma that I've dealt with, and it's gonna flip the script from the race-related, is boy versus girl when it comes to gaming, Twitch, and all that stuff. And it's not towards any hate. It's actually what I strongly dislike, and just is a random association when it comes to a male playing with a female. Is I'm playing with you because you play the same game as me. I don't play with females to get in their fucking pants. Like, am I the only one? Am I the only one that can play with any female in the community and instantly like, dude, this guy just wants to get laid? Like,
like you would,
huge one.
That so like bad. I think it gets skipped over because we live in a very racially generated society right now. But like, there's so many instances like it, and being able to be banned for the word simp on Twitch, like the whole simp culture, like, dude, like there's so many times where I've literally just pent up rage is like, I don't play with you because I want to have a chance with you or whatever. Like, I have so many female friends in the community. You play the same game, I play the same game. Let's have fun, create content. Or females that are really, really good at the game, that are better than guys. I know girls that are fucking amazing at Valorant. I'm shit.
Yeah.
And, like, I play with them because they're good. I can learn from them. I have a good time with them. I don't play with people to get in their pants, okay?
Yeah.
And I think that's just completely overshadowed, and I definitely
It's
get hit with
funny.
that shit so many times.
It's funny because I actually think you got called a simp for playing with me once in your chat. Because I was playing with you, and I had your stream open, and I just remember like it was like somebody random. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, oh, because you called me good. You said like, oh no, that was good play, like, or something, like I did something good, and they were like, oh, Unruly going full simp mode, and you were like, how is that being a simp? I just said she did a good
Like,
fucking play. I was
it's-
Is
like,
that
yeah, I
still
was like,
banned? Because you guys are saying it a lot. Is that still banned on Twitch, or they reduced?
It's bannable if you're meaning it in an offensive way. We're talking about
so
it
if you're
like
just saying it, it's okay.
the topic of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, because
It's
like okay,
yeah, we're good. I wouldn't, like, it's like with you guys, like, I wouldn't be passionately throwing the word around if that meant that
'cause
we're
it's
all
like,
gonna get in trouble. No.
Because you guys were like, oh yeah, this word's banned.
It's
So then
just
they just
banned.
say it a lot. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
No,
but,
it's not like the
yeah.
N-word where like I wish there
Right.
was a little bit more nuance with the N-word because like I've seen huge black streamers get banned for it, and I'm just like, that makes quite no sense
Right.
when there's a lot of non-black streamers out there who say it quite frequently
Right.
that I found out recently, and I'm like, how are they not banned yet?
Right.
You know?
Like,
at least have that kind of consistency.
yeah, but
It's just it's one of those words that you don't like say to attack someone.
And then like
Right.
And
as,
it's
like
broad.
speaking of that, about the whole guys and girls stigma playing together.
Mhm.
I personally I don't think I've ever queued up with a girl that I've known like online or in person specifically, but like I've joined like CS:GO, they put you in a random queue. I've played with girls like in that sense. And it's funny because like people will like so for example, like when you say mic check, like in the beginning of a game to make sure everybody's got a mic, right? What's funny is I've joined games, so many games where like a girl will like either be too scared to say something. Like my girlfriend, when she plays video games, a lot of times she doesn't talk because she's just like, oh, I don't want them to like start, saying stuff towards me or anything like that, and it's like, when they do, it's funny because a bunch of dudes are like, oh, you can have my gun. Oh, do you have ammo? Do you want my ammo? Do you want this? Do you want that? And it's like, talk about trying to like, get in somebody's pants. Like there are some dudes who are like, oh yeah,
I guess I'm gonna just start playing
you would be
CS:GO 'cause I don't give a
you would be
shit.
surprised. I mean, now there's the occasional dude that'll be like, I'll tell you too how it is. Like there's been like one time there was a girl going 2-17 on our team, bottom fragging, costing us heavy. We were still tied, but like we should have been way up. And I literally, like, at one point in one of the rounds, I'm like, listen, you're doing dog shit. You need to pick, just like I would talk to a dude. I'm like, you're doing dog shit. You need to pick it up. Like, let's do this. Like, and then everyone was like, oh, bro, it's a girl. Chill out. I'm like, so it's okay for her to be bad because she's a girl? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like it's like they were almost protecting her. And it's really annoying because then I become the bad guy for wanting to win the game. Like, isn't that why we're all here? Like, it's just it can be very annoying. It can be extremely annoying when it's like, like I don't know. I just treat everybody the same. I don't give anybody special privilege, I guess.
The only reason why it might have came off bad is like because I mean, I'm not trying to say you did bad. I'm just kind of trying to explain. I just want to clarify that real quick. But if you look at it proportionately, girls do get shit talked more than guys if they talk. That's just the math. Like So you say this girl, you're dog shit. A lot of people are just thinking you're just dogging on her because she's a girl, not because she's bad at the game. Because that's just what happens.
Yeah.
And even though you're being fair, like I truly believe that you were just being fair and just being like, hey, you're being fucking dog shit right now, pick it up. It may not quite look that way because they just see you talking shit to this girl. You didn't say anything to anybody else. You know what I mean? And it just looks really, really bad. You know what I mean?
Say that, yeah.
Like, where like it's one of those like same thing with like the bandana thing where like it's context.
Yeah.
And so it's like one of those things that I might be like I would just be kind of aware of, because it's good to treat everybody the same, but at the same time, in a sense, you almost can't. Because
Context is everything for sure.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, just it also comes down to like rapport and stuff. Like me and like Unruly, like he'll fucking make fun of me, he'll talk shit to me, and like we have a friendship. Like if anybody off the street did that, I'd be like, hey yo, you know what I mean? But like him, he can be like, you're playing like ass, Bell. Come on, and I'll be like, yeah, all right, I'm playing like ass. You know what I mean? And so it's like it also comes down to having that relationship, and there's just a lot to that, you know. Unfortunately,
Right.
so like that's the only reason why I could see them getting mad at you, like just to kind of.
Yeah,
But also, the other
yeah.
thing is that they were simps.
I also think that along with the whole like guys trying to get in girls' pants while playing thing is stupid. I think it's also stupid that a guy gets crucified for defending a girl because they think that they're
That's
trying to
true.
get in. Because
Getting
I've had
called white knighted.
right. Like
Yeah.
I played Valorant, and it's predominantly in Valorant for some reason as of right now is all this like sexist like slurs and shit towards women, and I
They
play
move in waves.
right. It's
like-
gross, and like. I'm not gonna sit there and let some random dude. Now, in this instance, there's actually 2 females on my team. One I knew, the other one was just a random, and she was really nice. And like the moment these guys are starting to talk shit, I'm like, oh, that's my teammate, bro. Like you don't be saying that shit. I don't care if she's a girl or not. I look at you as a gamer tag. You're a gamer tag. I'm a gamer. You're a gamer. We're teammates now. Like, and the moment you get white knighted and instantly excused because you either know them or you whatever, like that's bullshit. Like that's like saying like you're sticking up for this person and you're stupid and all that shit because you're sticking up for them. Like no, it's not okay what you're saying, and it doesn't matter which gender I am that you instantly excused for the shit talk that you're saying. Like you don't talk to people like that, regardless of who they are. And if someone sticks up for them, why are you dogging on them when you're being an asshole anyway?
Yeah, it's just like a double standard all the way around, and it's like
it's just gross.
It's the internet. People can have like 50 different positions on something and still be right on all of them. It's like, you know, I don't know. It's just it's a different universe. It really is, and you have to be a different breed to deal with it. It's like you just get acclimated, and it's like
yeah. So
it's like, and I've noticed, you know, if I've noticed when I have conversations with people in the real world, it like you realize like there's humans and then there's gamers, and it's like when you speak with like an actual person in real life, like even if they're a gamer themselves, they're presenting like I am not like a gamer I per se, like they're behaving normally, and you realize like okay, it's very civil, it's very nice, and then you get online and it's like okay, fuck you, you're horrible, like piece of shit, and like it's just like constant like verbal like warfare constantly, you know,
yeah.
especially in the more competitive FPS like realm. It's just it's completely different.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't deal with the racial stuff, but that is one thing that I think is completely overlooked is the whole gender versus gender kind of thing. And that's what I deal with is I'm a guy who plays with a female, and instantly it's like, you know, this guy has no chance with anyone else in the world. He's playing video games with this chick. You trying to hook up? Like, dude, we play the same game. You're good, I'm good. We're learning, you're learning. Like, who fucking cares, man?
Yeah,
So that's the shit I deal with. So I don't deal. I sympathize for the people that deal with people that look at them for being different than them, or gross, or the shit that people of color deal with, the people of different nationalities. I sympathize for those people because I don't get looked upon that way. But what I do deal with is sexism in the community, and I just don't stand for it, and I think it's overlooked on both sides. On both sides, because females should not be talked that way. It shouldn't be a standard for a guy to be like, yo, like, Dinner needs done. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? You're playing a
I've
video
actually heard
game.
that
Where,
before in a game.
like,
Oh my
you're playing a
God,
video game. What? Yeah, exactly. The sandwich one. Like, what makes you think that? Oh, she's a female teammate. That means she has to go perform a
I mean, no,
luxury
bro.
for you. Like, what? And like, or the whole like trying to date internet thing. Like, dude, I don't like.
I think, like,
There's Tinder for a reason. I'll meet someone in real life, man. I'm just trying to have fun and play video games, dude. Like, that doesn't mean like I'm a creep and trying to get in your freaking pants, man. Like, you want to play this game?
It's all about your intent, honestly. It's like if you get across like I want to play, I want to just do well. I mean, it's just that's all that matters. I mean, if you're over here like, hey, so you know, what size bra are you? And then it's like, oh, you know, what's your address? Like trying to do all this weird shit. That's a problem.
There's a fine line. It's
all about intent. It's all about intent. That's all that matters, you know?
Right.
100%.
I think part of that is like what you guys may deal with, and maybe you don't recognize it or you just didn't think of it. Is that I see that guys really get you guys are loners, and that's why you're playing video games, kind of thing. And it's
I mean, you're not wrong. Shit, I got more online friends than IRL, so.
Yeah, I was like, I do want to kind of like speak up for you, or for the male side, or you know, of everything. Where it's just like I see that shit a lot, where it's just like, you know what? I really don't have a lot of IRL friends. Like, I will out myself like that. Like, I have a handful that I kept after high school. Everybody else, I'm kind of like whatever about. But do I have a fuck ton of online friends? Where yes, like some online friends turned into IRL friends because I found out they live close. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't get why guys get the you're a loner when I'm just like, that makes no sense. When the internet connects people all over the world, they probably have more friends than you. Just because they're not in person doesn't mean they're loners. You know what I mean? And it really bugs me when I see that shit. And I'll fight with people in other people's chats for them, and I'll like talk mad shit and be like, nah, you're gonna be nice to my friends, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, you know, I don't know. It's like it seems like if you're a girl playing video games, you're trying to get attention. If you're a dude, you're completely loner. Like it just seems like nobody can be just a gamer. Like just, you know, nobody can just be like, okay, you like video games, cool. It's just like any other hobby, you know. It's just I don't know. It's just weird how people come up with the shit that they do. It's strange.
It's so weird.
It was just something that I'm blessed to not have to deal with such a need of a panic button because of where I come from, but that is one thing that I do deal with.
Oh, a very good idea.
Very, very good idea.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
No,
I got you guys. Hit me up after. I'll help you guys out.
But on a positive note, the next topic is positivity. How you guys create a positive environment for yourself, pass off a positive community, and ways that the average viewer, can create a more positive viewership and environment for their favorite creator, rather than it being so easy to just judge a person, and all the rude and disrespectful things that we deal with now. Is how do each of you as a creator create a positive space for yourself, create a positive community, and what ways that you promote positivity within your community, your streams, your content, and some ways as the average viewer how they could be more positive. So whenever you're ready, Phazer, you have 10 uninterrupted minutes to tell me how positive of a person you are.
Awesome. So I'm a very, very positive person. I've actually always I've always been blessed to be very, very high energy ever since I was little. I've always been positive, always been high energy. I can't say I've ever had a situation where I've been like genuinely like depressed. And it's like I always do my absolute best to try to give that feeling to people. Like not the depressed part, but like the positive part. So like I do everything that I can to like, you know, carry that across. So ways that like I'll just first go with ways that I try to make my community more positive, and then ways that I stay positive during streaming. And so when it comes to the community, obviously banning dickheads, like that's a good start. You know, when people come in and like just eliminating toxicity from even coming in, that's obviously a good idea. And I think that when it comes to actual people who are in the chat, I think that back to something Hell said in the first segment was setting boundaries. That's actually a really good step to having positive because whenever you do have a positive enforcement of boundaries, people then respect that. And when people respect it, they know what's too far with certain people, you know, what's too far with you. And I feel like facilitating an outside environment other than the stream is a very good way of bringing everybody together because ultimately, like, the biggest strength any community could have is unity. Like, that's the ultimate strength, is like everybody enjoying each other's company, knowing they can go to literally anybody in that community to talk about something, and everybody can get along with everybody. And it's going back to those things where you have almost, when it comes to Twitch, because of the algorithm the way that it is, with the whole like viewership is really the main pusher, it's something where you have to have outside growth in order to translate over to Twitch. And so when it comes to like Twitter, you try to like you're not going to please everybody, but with the people that vibe with you on the Twitter community, the YouTube community, TikTok, Discord, whatever it might be, Instagram, then you have a pool of people from all different aspects of like, okay, mainly over here, mainly over here. Then they come in and it's like, okay, now we all have like one collective community. It's really nice, really cool. And then just having that area like a Discord server, or, you know, like I don't do this, but like a Patreon or something, if somebody has that, something where you can have outside engagement other than the streams. Because if you rarely see somebody other than the streams, well, if that streamer goes MIA for like a month or two, then those people aren't going to see each other for a month or two. So it's like that connection is almost lost. Like, oh yeah, who are you again? And so it's like if you facilitate that and you make sure that everybody is interacting with each other and engaging with each other out, like not present of you, then that's a really cool thing, because that's the definition of like a community, right? It's not like you're like the person telling everybody else to drink the Kool-Aid. It's like, you know, I'm the dictator, you follow my word and all that stuff. It's just like you are your own people, and I just like I represent you guys, but you guys are, you know, do what you want to do. And so that's a way that I, unless I'm forgetting something, that's mainly the ways that I try to enforce a positive community, other than my own attitude, of course. Because always, if the streamer's positive, you know, you're gonna attract, you know, like-minded, like people. You know, if you're extremely negative, super toxic, you're gonna attract those types of people. And I think that, as far as with me staying positive, and it's very hard. I'm pretty sure you guys have dealt with this as well. First starting out streaming, you're literally talking to nobody. It's like you think, okay, I see that viewer count. You know, sometimes I've turned it off, but like you see a viewer count and it's just like you see a big fat breadstick, and it's like, okay, that's probably me. Or if it's not, it's like one person who's not talking, and it's like, okay, how do I not think that I'm completely failing right now? Like, and it's just, I try to put into perspective where I'm going and what my goals are, and I just think back to, okay, even the best people went through this. Like, and it doesn't have to be with streaming; it could be with anything. You know, like you were saying, Ludwig, he was at a. I mean, I'm not too familiar with him. I know who he is. He had like for 4 years, you said, I think 20 average viewers. I mean, you know, and then it's just like staying, and then look at him now. And so it's, I just have that vision in my head of you always, you never know when something's gonna happen. You just always have to stick to it no matter what. And if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And all you can do is do your best, because if you do your best, there's nothing else more you could have done. If you just look at it that way. Like, if you do your best, there's nothing else that you can have regrets about, because you did your best and that's all that could have been accomplished. Like, you know, so I look at that and then I think of, you know, certain things that I've seen. In fact, I forget the guy who did it. Maybe he's popular, maybe he's not anymore. I don't know. But he posted this graphic. It was like a bar chart. And it was like his average viewership. It was either on YouTube or Twitch. It was one of the two. But basically it looked like this, and then it shot up. And he said, with an arrow pointing to the bar before it shot up, he said, I almost quit here. And then he said, but I kept going, and then look at what happened. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you see people, they go through the same thoughts. You're not like alone in thinking, you know, like, oh, there's no one watching me. There's if you think about it, there's people that are Twitch partners, right? And partners make up less than 1% of all content creators on the platform. And that's only with 75 average viewers. That's not even 100. And then you look at the top people who have tens of thousands. You think about how many people actually are in the same boat as you. And then you just think, okay, I'm not alone. This is not something that's, like only affecting me specifically. And, that it makes me at least feel a little bit better. And whenever I see any type of growth, that's what I build off of. Because if you look for the negative, you're going to find it. If you look for the positive, you're going to find it. So if you look at the positive things, like, okay, my average viewers went up, in this past month or this past week. Or, hey, I actually had my highest chat engagement for, this past month or week. And you keep on building on that stuff and you keep looking at that and figuring out ways to make that better, then naturally everything else is going to come with it. It's not a situation where you have to build one platform and then you have to build another one from scratch and then another one from scratch. They all kind of rise together, maybe at different speeds, but when your stock goes up, everything else that's attached to you goes up as well. And so whenever you have that ability to build on the positive stuff and only think about that stuff, that's what's going to come of it, because you are what your mind produces. If you constantly are like, I'm gonna do this, I know I can do this, like you, Hells, you face a lot of challenges. I'm sure you push through a lot of them, and you're growing. I mean, I assume you're growing pretty well, and that's because you're like, yeah, I'm staying positive and stuff, and you figured out unique ways, like the panic button, to get around the negative. And so it's like, and you, Unruly, like I literally keep up with all your Twitter clips and you go absolutely fucking insane. And it's like, I've seen situations where you were like, oh, fucking hate this, like, fuck this game and all this stuff, and then you like come out and you're like burning people, and it's like, you're staying persistent, and you kept on your grind, and dude, fucking look at you, like you're insane. And so it's like, I feel like everything that you produce in your mind, that's what you're going to get out of it. And so that's the thing that makes me stay positive about everything, is just thinking about where I can be, what I know I can do, where I want to go. And I almost visualize like my life as if I made it, if that makes any sense. Like a lot of times I will sit there and I'm like, okay, when this happens, like, this is what I will be doing. This is what my life will be like. And here's where I am now. How bad do I want this? I want it really bad. And so with this being said, this seems like an amazing life. Well, that's not impossible. This isn't a movie. This is your life. And so if I go and do it, and I just take the necessary steps to do that, I can achieve that. And that gives me motivation to go and do it. Sometimes I might not want to stream that day, and I'll just be sitting there like, well, it's just only one day. And then I'm just thinking, well, could this one day be the difference? And then, just go do it. And so at this point, I only don't stream if, number one, I'm sick, or I genuinely am just feeling like it's a bad mistake if I stream today, because it's gonna suffer, my content will suffer. Or if I'm working on something that's like, okay, this is contributing to this, but it's a big situation, it's like a big thing. In fact, I do have a big announcement, but I'm not telling anybody what it is yet. But I missed a couple streams to work on that and to have meetings with people. That is going to be huge, and I know that that's worth missing a day or two, because it's going to be that much better in the long run. And so that's just stuff that keeps me positive, just making sure that I always have a positive outlook and visualizing where I want to go and where I'm going to be. And that almost keeps you sane. It's like sometimes you feel like you're going insane, or you're a little you have to almost be a little delusional to stay sane, even though that's completely contradictory to each other. It's like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I started in the first place. So let me not lose track of that. So, I mean, that's my end. I don't think I'm forgetting anything.
That's a good take. That's a good take.
Thank you.
I like the whole, essentially a life's ladder, as like, this is the rung I want to be on. How bad do I want to climb the next 4 rungs, the next 5 rungs to get to where I want to be? And then what do I need to do to start climbing those? So I really like that analogy. And like, I definitely agree with the whole, making a spot where your community can be positive. I really like that. And social media, where you can kind of close that gap of like losing who you are to your community by connecting with them, even though you're not constantly going live or creating content. So that huge props to you, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Belle, whenever you're ready.
Cool. So, I just want to say, Phazer, that spitting bars. You were
thank you.
on the nose with everything. Like, that was amazing. It's a lot.
I have a new album
I
coming
host
out
myself
so.
as well. Make sure you pre-save on Spotify.
But, yeah. It's called Phazers Bars.
But yeah, like I want to say that I do pretty much the same thing. Like hosting like the positive space really starts with yourself. And one of the things that I actually implemented on my stream, and it's to this day the most redeemed channel point on my stream, and it's called I'm Worthy. And I'm Worthy, like I have like a whole spiel for it and everything. It is my affirmations for the day. Where I will go and say my affirmations of I am worthy of having success. I am worthy of having love. I'm worthy of having friends and being who I am fully and truly. Like I am worthy of all these things like that I will say like over and over again. And you know, everybody loves it. It was actually something that I put in just for my boyfriend to redeem when I first started streaming, or when I first hit affiliate, because I thought like nobody's gonna do this, nobody wants to hear me say this, and the fact that actually a lot of people wanted to hear me say that, and I have a couple of my friends who are streamers who have implemented I'm Worthy on their streams, or I make it, or it's like an inside joke with my friends where like if they're feeling bad, I'm like I'm redeeming I'm Worthy. You know, where, or they'll tell me in the Discord, or I'll tell people that in the Discord. And, like, you know, it's just something that kind of became a part of me and became a part of what I host. And I've had people who follow, I've had people who follow me just because I did I'm Worthy. Or just because, like, I did that, and they're like, wow, that actually made me follow. Yeah, and, you know, so, like, really with like the positivity starting from you, that's like huge and something that I really do believe in because I saw it firsthand, whereas I wasn't sure at first and definitely saw it firsthand. And you know, it is such a beautiful thing, and it's something that yeah. What's up?
Oh, I know I had a comment to add on to that. Like I think a lot of people, the reason they like hearing the I'm worthy from you is because maybe they like hearing it from somebody else because they don't feel they have the strength to like say it themselves. And so it's like I think that might be something that like really they gravitate about that, you know?
That's something that I can definitely see because like it's so funny, like there'll be days like I don't want to say it and they're like you definitely need to say it then. You know, like it's just really funny. Like I really do feel that does happen. But the other thing that I really like to do is I really do have an emphasis on helping people and really being kind. Like I will bend over backwards to help you if you are part of my community, even if you're not. I constantly reach out if somebody needs help, if somebody doesn't understand something, where I'll go out of my way and help them just because I feel like that's what's right. If I have knowledge of something, like especially for audio, like a lot of people come to me for audio issues, or audio questions, and I will help you as much as I can. I will pause stream whatever I'm doing and will sit here and talk to you and explain how to do something, even if I'm losing viewers, because I feel like that it's important that if you are obviously having a problem and struggling and I have the means to help you, I should be helping you. And you know, that's something that really kind of helped me grow, and also helped my, you know, people who stream in my server grow. I literally have gotten one of my friends who had been streaming for 5 years and never hit affiliate. When I met him, I was like, no, we're gonna make you hit affiliate. And every stream, I retweeted him. Every stream, I sat in there. I had my boyfriend sit in there. Like, I had everyone. And I was like, no, we got you to affiliate. And we got into affiliate. and now he's doing like really, really well with streaming, because it was just like he had never had someone show him like what he actually needed to do to get there. And I was like, no, like, here, I will help you. Like, here's how to find this stuff. Here's how to do this. And I see like my friends that I've met doing that now, and I am very proud of them, and like, or I see them creating their own friends, creating their own communities, and that is like super amazing, and I feel very proud of them. And I want to say one of the last things that I really, really do love doing is I like to say that I'm a very down-to-earth person. And I'm someone that you can come and talk to about something you may be afraid to ask out loud. So I've had people ask me, like, why is it not okay for me to say the N-word? Like, just because they really don't understand why. And I will sit there and talk to them. And or why is this wrong to say? Or why is this wrong to think? And I will have an open conversation where it's about understanding and not necessarily me saying that they are wrong or that they are a bad person. And I really found that attracted a lot of people who are afraid to kind of be unknowing, and so that was something that I've always done. I've been a debater, I've been a writer. I'm someone who loves talking to people, who loves explaining things, who loves helping people. I mean, I teach. I was captain of the debate team at my high school. I wrote a killer essay that got me into 4 of the 5 Ivy Leagues in college. Like, I love talking to people and helping them and all of this stuff. And so it really kind of made my community very unique in a way, I would like to say, where it's not necessarily very typical. I mean, I have like I have a lot of places in like text channels and stuff in my server where like one of them is celebration time, where anything positive that happens in their life, they can come and put it in there, and everybody just goes, "You're amazing, you're awesome," and like, "We love you," and whatever. We have motivation center where people will come and be like, "I need motivation to help do this. Can I get some words of motivation, words of encouragement?" And we will come and give them words of encouragement and give them love to do that. And then I also have Need a Hug, which is has all of the phone numbers and links to the suicide hotline, domestic violence hotline, etc. All the mental health links that I could find. And then it also is just a place to vent, and that one does get used a lot, where people just need a place to talk, not necessarily to have someone respond to them, but just to get it out there into the world. And so, like, I've done all of these things to try and keep it such a positive space, and a space that they feel safe in. Because I feel like the internet is a very vast and huge place, and there's not a lot of spaces out there that really do feel safe. And a lot of my friends, really do. I call my friends more than viewers or people part than anything. But, like, they really do appreciate the things that I've put in there, and I really, really do appreciate them. And so, of course I'm going to do things that'll help them as well. But, for keeping myself positive, the I'm worthy is honestly something that I do even off stream, where I give myself affirmations. I have made a dream board before where I have what I want in life, and I'm saying that's where I'm going to be. It's not a question, it's not anything. I am going to be there one day.
Not if, it's when.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And so I don't I a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're being cocky." And I'm just like, I'm not being cocky. I believe in myself, because no one's going to believe in me more than me. So like, I will have people come and go, and you really truly have yourself. And I really do believe I will be someone one day. I will be like, it will be a bragging right for Unruly to be like, I had Hellsabels on my first UnrulyCast, or like, it will be like, I will be somebody like up there, and I truly do believe that, and I know I have a lot of people who do believe in me. and it's really, really amazing. And I was somebody who really didn't believe in themselves for a long time. In the music world, it is very cutthroat, and a lot of people will tear you down the minute you exist, basically. And so I really did not have a good self-esteem or good sense of identity, even in a sense. And I mean, even until recently, it took Unruly, you actually, saying you just need to be more confident in Apex for me to get to plat. That's literally it. It took you believing in me, and I made it to plat. So I definitely do give you some props because, like, I do struggle with that, and so I do everything in that I'm aware of and that I can do to counter that because, like I said, nobody's gonna believe in me more than I will, and I even if like I don't put out content for a couple days, that's one of the things that like I really struggle with. Like if I'm just having a bad couple days, like pain wise or whatever, and I just can't do anything, I feel really bad, and I'm like, fuck, maybe I should just give up here. But I'm just like, no, like why? Like just like you said, there's so many people who didn't give up, or and the next thing they put out goes viral, and they reach that, and who knows, that could be me. I had a TikTok that went somewhat viral. It got 36,000 views.
Yeah.
And I was blown away, and like it was funny because I just posted it, and I was like, this is nothing's gonna happen to this. It never does. And then that's the one, like, got all those views. I went up like almost 100 followers.
Damn.
And like I was just like,
That's a good turnover, actually. Holy shit.
yeah. On TikTok, 100 followers on TikTok. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's a good turnout ratio, actually.
Yeah. Oh. So like I was like blown away, and I was like, holy shit, and it's just so crazy, and it comes back to like what I said in the first part, where it's the idea that growth is fast and permanent.
Yeah.
That it really, really isn't. And sometimes I will go down in viewers. Sometimes I will not have necessarily the best week for stream, but that doesn't mean I'm not successful and that I didn't put all the work that I already put in. And that does not mean that I am still not growing just because I have one off stream. Like the other week I had a stream with an average of 6 viewers. That's 4 less than I usually do. And I was like, okay, that was just an off day. And it was a trial run. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna stream on those days or stream that game. And I was like, okay, that just told me that, I shouldn't stream on that day. And that was it. And like, whereas before, before I took a huge break, that would have killed me emotionally, where I would have been like, oh, I should just never stream again. But to learn that growth isn't linear, and that success is definitely not linear, was something that really, really, really helped me become as positive as I am. And like, I encourage my friends, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna stream, and some days you're just gonna have off days, and that's okay. And some days you're gonna have like really amazing days, and then you're gonna go back to kind of like leveling out. Like, that's so okay. And just trying to give people that encouragement, because it's rough out there. To actually to go back to what you were saying, Phazer, about how many people are at the top. If you have 5 average viewers, you are in the top 5% of Twitch.
That's like, news to me. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
wow.
It's that fucking ridiculous. Like, how many people out there that are streaming to 0 or 1? Like,
and they've been doing it for a long time.
And yeah, it's a lot. So me, like, with 10 average viewers, or where I'm at with my average viewers, I'm in the top 2% of Twitch, technically. So it's like, it puts it really into perspective, where you're just like, holy shit, there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Just a little, yeah, top 5% right here. Just respect. But
like, it's hard, and don't knock your successes just because somebody else has it better. That's all I have to really like say.
And
And
I actually have three comments or things to like comment on about things you were saying that I
Mhm.
really thought were good points. So as far as your like believing in yourself, I
Mhm.
really and just like a little thing for everybody. Like it doesn't matter what it is, if it's you want to be a content creator, you want to be a doctor, an engineer, whatever it is. There's a lot of people that will tell you you can't. Obviously, that's just life, and it's just one thing to really keep in mind is you can't expect somebody to believe in your dream because you know it was never their dream in the first place. So how
Mhm.
can you expect them to believe in it as much or even more than you when it's your dream to begin with? So it's your thing that you have to run with, and it's basically one of those things where I'm gonna keep working and doing and convincing myself that I'm gonna do this until we both believe it. And so it's like you really have to just keep at that. Don't let people saying, okay, you can't do this, this is unrealistic, because not everybody has the same drive and motivation. Not everybody has the same goals. Like I'll say this, like my immediate family, my mom, my dad, and my sister, they all are they're all people where they're like, okay, and they're wonderful people, obviously, but they're people who they're like, okay, I'm content with having a nice job. I'm content with all this stuff, and
Mhm.
I'm the first person in my family to really have to my knowledge super super lofty dreams and aspirations, and it's like because of that, it's like I'm not coming from somewhere where it's like, okay, my dad is Tifu or something, and it's like he's telling his audience to go like watch me. It's like I'm having to build it up and up and up from nothing, and so it's like it's that much more encouraging to think like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and it's like it's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be something where you're gonna like it's like this thing where you're walking alone, and then people start coming in from the sides, and eventually you have like a bunch of people behind you, and it's like that's what it's gonna be like. It's not gonna be a bunch of people from the beginning. And so,
To kind of
yeah,
real
sure.
quick, sorry, not to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
to kind of like really add on to what you were kind of saying, nobody. Are you gonna convince other people to believe in you if you don't believe in you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
It's like if Elon Musk came out
mhm.
with a car and he said, "Well, I'm not too sure if this is a good one or not. It could break
Mhm.
down on you, but you guys should definitely buy it." It's like people are gonna, what the hell? But if he
Yeah,
comes out and he's like, "Yeah, this is the absolute best thing we've ever created. This is absolutely reliable, 100% efficient," like all this stuff, people are gonna be, well, damn, if he's confident in it, it must be something worth looking at. It's the same
yeah.
thing. You're a
I
walking
mean,
brand. I mean,
yeah.
you're
It's content creation is being a salesperson where the product is yourself.
exactly.
So like, you have to be able to sell yourself. Like I well, literally in my bio is like, I'm your new favorite streamer. You just don't know it yet. Like,
I have
it's just
literally
like,
that's my Twitch line when I go live. I'm not even kidding. I said your favorite streamer you've never met. That's literally my tagline for when I go live.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like, I'm someone you don't know yet, but you're gonna love me.
yeah,
And people are like, you were right. I fucking love you now. And like, it's just like, you have to
yeah,
believe in
mm,
yourself more than anyone does.
yeah,
And you have to sell that. You have to sell that I'm a good streamer. Like, I confidently say, like, am I a good Apex player? I'm decent. But am I a good streamer? Hell yes. I am a great streamer. I love talking to people and they love talking to me. And
yeah,
I will say that till the sun comes down. Like,
yeah.
you know?
And yeah, and that's a really great point. And something else I also wanted to say about your I'm huge on this when you were talking about slow growth versus fast growth.
Mhm.
I prefer slow growth all day. And the analogy that I use is if you give somebody who has no experience with money, right? If you give somebody like $10 million all at once, and you're like, there you go, do what you want with it, they're gonna blow that entirely because they have no clue what to do with it. They've never handled that amount of money before. It got thrown on them so quickly, and they're like, okay, their mind starts racing. I don't know what to do. What should I do? This is so much money. I don't know what to do with it. Blah blah blah. And then you have somebody who's like, okay, well, I'm going to say start a business, and maybe in the beginning I'm not earning anything, like I'm not making profit, but then eventually you start to get more and more. Well, then as time goes, you know how to manage those things because you're used to it. You have experience with it. And so it's the same with viewership. Like if somebody created a TikTok account and the very first video they posted just happened to go viral, and now everybody's looking at them like, okay, what's your next post going to be? They're feeling it like it better be as good or better than the first one I posted. Like everybody's looking at me. I don't want to blow this. Holy shit, what do I do? And then they start to see like, okay, I don't have experience with this. How am I going to deal with this? They start to, overthink things, and then they just crash and burn. And, like, I forget what the song was, but I'm a very casual music listener, but like on certain genres. So like Florida Georgia Line, remember that one song that they came up with that the Take You for a Ride? No, it was I forget what it was, a very viral song. I'm being really dumb not remembering. Cruise, yeah, that's what it was. Cruise. Yeah. Roll my windows down and cruise or something. I haven't heard anything from them noteworthy since. I have not heard anything.
One-hit wonder.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a one-hit wonder, and it's like, not saying all people who grow super fast are like that. Some get really lucky, but a lot of them are like that. And it's like, I would much rather slowly grow into who I want to be, so I know how to manage it. I have a handle on everything a little bit better, and I know how to better deal with certain situations, because I don't want to be that guy who gets overwhelmed and overflustered and I start overthinking everything. And then it's like, I don't know how to deal with this, and then you just blow it. And so I think that was something I wanted to add on, because I completely agree with that. Do you have anything to say before I hit my last point on that?
You mentioned a song, and that just reminded me of something I was supposed to bring up that I forgot about.
Sure.
And sorry, so it relates still. But
Yeah.
one of the things, one of the songs, and that I decided that it was gonna be my anthem for this year, especially when it comes to content creation, is it's called "Could Have Been Me" by the Struts, I believe. And basically the point of the song is like, I don't want to be in my 50s. I don't want to be in, older, looking back going, that should have been me. That could have been me. I don't want to look at somebody else and go, that might have been me. I want to do everything that I can, so I know whether or not it could have been me or not. Not maybe it could be.
Yeah.
So like that's also another thing that I think about a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I have to live for today with purpose,
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing was, again, something you pointed out that I really liked was, I don't know if you were intending on going here with what you said, but when you said some days, you average 6 viewers on this day, or some days you might have lower weeks, some weeks you might have better weeks, you have off days, whatnot. And I would like to just like say, something that I've learned especially is, people aren't bots. Like, and when I say that, I mean that very unironically. Like, there are bots that troll, but like, people aren't robots that have the same schedule every day, and the only thing they have to do is watch you. So like, if you notice something when you watch the live viewer count of someone like XQC or Myth or a Summit or someone like that, their viewer count within a second can drop like 300 people, and then it'll go back up like 500 and then drop down 600. I've watched it before. It happens at a big scale on their part, but their numbers are so high, it's like 600 people out of 20,000 isn't a massive deal, right? Well, when it comes to people who have smaller viewer counts, if you would go from like 7 to 3, that's like, holy shit, I lost 4 people. Like, I'm done, I'm toast. And it's like, no, that's 4 people. If 4 people had been lost in, say, hate to use his name, but Ninja Stream, don't compare me, but Ninja Stream, right? He's gonna be like, oh, you 4 people were here? Okay. And then just keep going, right? Like, it's so minute compared to those numbers that they have. So it's like, whenever you're starting out, people have lives as well. If something may happen, you don't know. Something may happen to where their internet is out. Their computer might have broken. They might have had a family emergency. They might have been busy with work and they can't be in your stream. You can't automatically assume, oh, they don't like watching me anymore, or oh my gosh, everybody got tired of me. Because there have been times where I've thought that, and then in the next stream, I have the best stream I've ever had, and they're like, everybody's like, sorry, I missed yesterday. I had this, and this, and I was like, okay, like it's like that. So it's like
People behind the numbers.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
that's why I never look at it as like, 7 viewers today, 6 yesterday, average of 6.5. We're doing good. Like I'm not like that. It's there's something to look at, but it's like to see your growth. But at the same time, with those numbers, like you said, there's people behind that. And I like to, I like there are times where people will join and I like to ask, like, if they told me they're going to go on, like one of my viewers was like, I'm going on a date. Well, like the next stream, I was like, yo, tell us about it. What happened? Like, I like to interact with them and stuff. And I just feel like the numbers, people can get too caught up in them. And they see, like I said, if someone goes from 1,400 viewers, I'm sorry, 14,000 viewers to 13,600, which is like a 400 loss, they're like, okay, cool, and they keep streaming. They don't really notice. But then with you or with me or with Unruly, it's like, we have 10 people, it drops to 5. We're like, what just happened? It's like a nuke went off. And it's like, because it's so much of a smaller scale, the impact is that much more noticeable. But it happens to everybody. People leave, people join, people may not come in certain days. It's just like it's just a thing that happens. People have lives, and I think a lot of people get too caught up in expecting certain things, if that makes sense.
Kind of like add on to that. Like one of the things that I noticed that I do that a lot of people don't do is when I get rated, I will say, welcome in raiders, blah 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 blah, who I am, and then I say, and I know that watching so and so stream, might have been a little bit tiring, or you might be hungry or need a sip of water. So if you need to go do that, go ahead. You can always come back. Like people get like afraid to send people away, and I'm just like, or people will come in and be like, oh, I haven't eaten today, but I wanted to come in, and I'm like, no, go eat. Like,
Yeah.
go eat, go do that. You are a person. And I think a lot of it is people forget that it is, if you have 9 viewers, that's 9 people watching you. 9. So, like, imagine all that in one room, staring at you. Like,
Yep.
it kind of puts it more into, like, perspective. Like, those are actual people. Like, sometimes, you know what, they just may be tired, or they have a headache, and, like, they need to go, or they need to go to work. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling good, I need to go to take care of myself. And I'm always like, you never have to apologize for not being here. Because you being here is a privilege that you are giving me. And it is not something that you owe me. And so, like, just as much as there's entitlement from viewers, I feel like there's almost entitlement from streamers sometimes.
100%.
Where it's like, I expect you to be here. Even for my mods. Like, when I ask them, are you going to be here tonight? And they're like, no, I have this going on. I'm like, that is completely okay. I just want to know. Like, just so to know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't expect them. And if they're not here, I'm like, I'm unmodding you. Unless it's like, oh, they have a lot going on. I'm going to unmod you to kind of get this off your mind to make sure, but like, it's being a streamer, having viewers is a privilege. And that's something that a lot of people forget, and just because you don't have them or like they go away doesn't mean they hate you. It's just they have other things to do. Like, they're human.
Yeah, like I had one guy
every constant minute either.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't stream every constant minute either,
So. Yeah. Like I had a guy, I was streaming today. I did a little short one before this podcast, and I was playing some Sky Wars, and there just happened to be a guy that, I had noticed, and like I said, I'm not going to name names, but he had left the Discord, the community one, and then he was kind of like stopped joining everything. And then I saw him today. He popped in. He was actually stream sniping to get on my team or whatever, to be in my games. And he was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, yo, what's up, dude? And I was just like, hey, I noticed you were like, you left the Discord. Is everything cool? Like, did I piss you off in some way? And he's like, no, I just got super busy with modding someone else's stream and I wasn't active. So I didn't want to like, be in the Discord if I was being inactive. And I was like, okay, cool, dude. And I'm completely, on the same team as you. Like, whenever you're like, if somebody joins in, they're like, oh, sorry, I was doing this. I'm like, hey, it's cool. Like, go do what you got to do. Like, I'll still be here when you get back. Like, it's fine, and you got to be understanding completely, and it's just like, I 100% get that sentiment, and I carry the same one. And I think it's important, I really do. Because there's nothing worse than it's one thing for someone to be scared they're disappointing you, but it's another thing for you to prove them right. So like, if you sit there and you're like, hey, like, I'm sorry I missed your stream, they're already scared as it is. Maybe they're already like kind of like, oh, sorry, I kind of missed this. And then you're just like, yeah, and you suck and you shouldn't have. then they're gonna feel even fucking shittier because you just reinforced their fear when they shouldn't have had it in the first place.
Exactly.
So I just feel like it's a very good thing to carry that sentiment for sure.
No, and I carry the sentiment where I don't expect anything out of like anyone. In a weird sense, like I don't expect you to be like active in my server. I don't expect you to be active in my streams. Like if all you want to do is retweet my tweets, okay. All you want to do is like my TikToks, okay. Like the fact that you are still thinking
help
of me in some sort and still, helping me in some sort is good enough for me. Like, there's like a lot of people who get caught up in this idea that like if you follow them, you have to follow them on everything. And I'm just like, absolutely not. Because there's some people I only interact with on Twitter. I don't follow them on anything. Or there's people where I've left servers because, you know what, I'm just in too many and I mentally cannot handle it. And it has nothing against them, but I have people message you like, oh, why you leave my server? Why'd you, like, what's up with that? And I'm like, I was having a bad mental health day, I'm sorry. And, like, there's people who have left and been like, can I come back? And I'm like, yeah, of course, you can always come back. It's like it's a revolving door. You can go in, go out, you hang out in the middle. Like, I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, you're a person, and it's okay if you don't vibe with me. Like, I'm not gonna be mad that, maybe I outgrew, or I grew in a direction you didn't like. That's okay. Go find somebody who makes you happy, because at the end of the day, you deserve to be happy just as much as I do. So, yeah. So.
I mean, yeah.
Very well spoken. Very well spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Any
Did you ever talk about yourself, and really about your positive?
I have not, but
we went on
I pretend that the buzzer wasn't there, and I let you guys let it out. Like I said, you get 10 minutes of uninterrupted, and anything after that is all up to you guys. So I was learning. The hand raised rule, I didn't make it because I wanted the whole thing, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Perfect idea.
I like to be respectful. I don't just like.
Of course.
I like to,
So I was like, you get 10 minutes, but like, I mean, you ask questions to help understand that 10 minutes. So beautiful idea.
Yeah. And as far as you do, I mean, I'm curious to hear what you do.
So I'm gonna piggyback off of what you mentioned earlier about my Twitter. My Twitter is not a very good example when it comes to immediate positivity, because I look at my Twitter as me. That's my social media. That is straight Jonathan Unruly Walker. That's my social media. Okay, and then like the Instagram, the Twitch, the YouTube, that's my content creation, my branding, myself. But Twitter is one place where I will never be fake or filtered, right?
Yeah.
So whenever I post something that's like, damn, dude, is it really that deep? Especially when it comes to like Apex Legends or some content of that sort, I will never be fake to someone on that social media account. So when there's something that I'm really pissed off about in a game, and then I turn around and I post some nice content, nice clips, and I'm gassing people up, it's like the angel and the devil on my shoulder, So like that's Twitter. So that's where I get my frustration out, really, is through social media. But other than Twitter, when I tweet like that, I'm a very positive person. I find it so much easier, more rewarding to compliment someone and gas them up. Whatever it is, it could be a clip that I'm like, that was boring, but you know what, you fucking did that, or just something to be grateful about without the day. That's the other side of things. And with Belle having her Discord the way it is, there's a lot of good ideas that I might just I'll put a label that said Belle's idea, but we're putting it over here. But I have a community chat. I have socials to post everything. People come into my chat and they apologize for not being there for so long. I have one viewer. His name's Nick. God bless Nick's soul. He comes in and asks me how my day is every day. And that's one viewer. I never expect people to pop in. But that's one awesome person I do expect to pop in, because I feel like if he's not here, something is wrong and I need to go find Nick and ask what happened. So God bless Nick for coming in here all the time. And like I said, I don't expect people to come in. I think the analogy with numbers was a fantastic one, Phazer. I could confidently tell you since I switched to OBS probably 3-4 months ago. I don't know what my viewer count is live until I'm offline, laying in bed, checking my email before I go to bed. I have no idea how well the podcast is going at the moment. I have no idea how well my streams
It's
go.
going well. Let's put it that way.
It's going well.
Let's put it that way.
I don't know because I've learned that number stresses me out too much. Or I've become fake with that number. There's times where I see a bunch of people pop in and I just start acting like a freaking idiot.
Hey guys!
Right, literally, and I move out of my element to a way, and sometimes it's probably good. I'm probably less angry at the video game when I see a bunch more people, but that's not me. Like I said, I don't like being fake. I don't like being disgenuine. So I haven't seen that number in forever.
There's
get an email.
People in here.
Well, what's up, 4,000 people?
Yeah, 4,000 people live right now. Don't mess up. You got
pressure's on. Pressure's on. But I find it so much easier to just gas people up, and that was another reason why I wanted to create a podcast like this. And give you guys those 10, 15 uninterrupted minutes is to give people a place to positively be themselves and talk about what the hell they want. So that's one thing that I always do. I won't go out of my way on social media to harass anyone. I will bend over backwards to gas you up, like your content, tweet, whatever it may be. I will never go out of my way to be hateful towards someone. And in my chat, we have, when people come in and they share that positivity, I have a shout out command where I literally type in !SO and then their name and shout out their content, their positivity, them being an awesome human being, good gesture. I have that in my stream. I will thank every follow, every bit, every sub, every raid. I'll ask them when they come in how their stream went. Because I want to know the vibes coming into my stream, like, damn, my day would have been a little bit rough. Hopefully yours is better. I'm like, I'm sorry. Hopefully yours gets better. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for your viewers that are coming in here, I'm going to try to make that day a little bit better. Because, like you guys said, the vibe of a streamer will reflect in the viewer that they bring in. Like, nobody's going to sit there and watch a TV show they don't like. So why would they watch a streamer they don't like, And if that streamer had a rough time, rough day or whatever, they might be feeling a little sad too. And I'm be like, shit, let's have a good one.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'll always be positive about. I find it more rewarding to be positive and gas people up than to be an absolute asshole on the internet. So
yeah, dude, it's like you are what you put out, It's like just like your mindset. Like if you're putting out positive stuff, I mean, and it's almost like dude, like generosity is so attractive in a way. It's like you're naturally attracted to people who are generous in life, and it's like when you see somebody that's super negative or super selfish with a lot of things, it's almost like you think, wow, that must be miserable to constantly want to ruin people's day. And it's like it's like an impossible fight to win when you're online arguing with people. It's like you literally you must have nothing better to do than like everything on YouTube you must have watched, every TV show, you must have no friends, like all this stuff to be able to be like, okay, I feel like going online and picking a fight that's like almost unwinnable because it's online. People can just say whatever they want and it be reality to them. Like it's very baffling to see that. I mean, I don't know.
And I pity those people.
People are very, very like sadistic. They like to see other people in pain or uncomfortable or upset. Like, one of the things, it's really funny. Like, one of the things a lot of people love, like, calling me is, like, a bitch. Like, that's just, I mean, that's the most common thing you call a female. And, ironically, the thing that I found really curves it the most is yeah, I'm the biggest bitch here. What the fuck are you talking about? And they go, what? Or they'll backtrack and be like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm being a jerk. Or, like, and it's really funny. Because they want to see you upset. They're upset, so they want you to be upset. They feel bad, so they want you to feel bad. And that's, like, the whole point of it. So it's, like, being basically overly positive where you are nice and actually genuinely nice and genuinely generous and genuinely a good person, it sometimes turns haters into fans. Like,
Yeah.
in the
Completely
best
agree.
way possible.
Completely
Like,
agree.
it's because they know that at the end of the day, being a hater isn't gonna do anything for them, and it's not gonna do anything to you, and
Yeah.
it ends up accidentally making them feel good.
Yeah,
So
I
it's like
mean,
I've had
Mhm.
people who were like mean to me, and now like we're friends.
yeah,
Like,
and
Mhm.
it's
and
really cool.
sometimes people are like, I've noticed this. People sometimes are absolute asshats because that's all that they are surrounded by and their little circle or the people that they watch, and they don't really
Mhm.
experience like someone being like nice or something like that. So when they finally experience that, they're like, okay, this feeling is way better than what I'm normally used to. Because whenever you're in a toxic community, you're on edge all the time. Because
Uh-huh.
anybody could just jump at you, like, and then you have to be ready to defend yourself. But like, if you're around a community of like, nice people, then it's in a sense of like, okay, well, now I don't have to worry about somebody, saying I suck at a video game or, calling me a bitch or something like that, just randomly. And so that's most definitely something that I've noticed, and a big reason why some people would turn into fans after hating on you. Like there's people that come in and they're like, hey, you want to show me your like, not to be explicit, but like, hey, show me your dick, or like, hey, flex or
Mhm.
something like, and it's just like, okay, bro, you want a video or picture? Like sometimes I'll go with it, like, and they'll be like,
Mhm.
and then I'll just roll with the joke, and eventually they'll either piss off or they'll be like, oh, I was just messing with you, dude, like, you know. It
Mhm.
like and it, like
Like
I bring up yeah I'll bring up Jackbox again because like most of this happens when we're doing that, but like there was a guy in there, he joined and he was talking about like Abe Lincoln or something. I don't know. He was talking about something weird and he was making it like strange. And so I go along with the joke, and then it's like, okay, like I said, they either piss off or they're like, okay, well, you're not giving me the reaction I wanted, so I'll just, sorry, dude, something like that. It's just strange people.
Yep.
yeah,
Definitely run into those.
yeah. I want to say the kindness like is really something I think that's starting to be looked for now. Because like even like with Apex, if I for some reason have my mic on, let's say I'm playing with somebody who's on console and like I'll be chatting to them that way. And like we'll get a random and they'll be like, I'm bad. And I'll just be like, no, well you're about to carry us, you're doing great, like, hey, nice job. Like we just constantly compliment them like and make it a good experience. And like I've had I actually got stream sniped for the first time, which was like
Saw that
super
clip. I saw
awesome.
that clip. I saw
Yeah.
that clip. Yeah.
And like he actually we were in the game together before, and then he came to my stream and then he stream sniped me. And like he was like, I'm really shy, like usually people are like really mean, and you were one of the only people that were nice to me today. And I was like, I almost started crying because I was just like, dude, like, no, you are a fantastic person, you are a great person, I enjoy playing games with you, and like I'm so glad that you decided to become a part of my community. And people aren't getting that anymore, I feel like, since like the edginess of the internet really kind of like
Mhm.
happened. And I mean, like, there's some people who are like, I haven't gotten complimented like in a long time, and I'm constantly throwing compliments, even at Unruly, even though he's like, stop, shut up, like, whatever. Like, I just still compliment him, and like, I'm just like, I genuinely care like for people, and I genuinely think everybody can be a good person, you know, like
Yeah.
that's it. And it's really good. I want to say good person, good being a good person is in your nature, but what you are nurtured with may be something else.
Right.
So it's I do that's why I allow people to come and talk to me. And like there's people, I won't name names, but there's people in my server who used to be very racist
Mhm.
and very sexist and a lot of things, and we've had conversations after conversations because I was okay with that. And they're way better people now. I mean, like I tell Vince all the time, I'm just like, like this guy was like on the bridge of being incel racist territory when I first met him, and then like him learning from me the actual way it's supposed to be. Like he's a much better person now, basically. And it's like I don't go in with the intention of change, and I think that's why people gravitate towards that as well. You gotta be really, really careful. If you're going with the intentions to change someone, they'll know. They'll know.
Yeah.
People. One thing people don't like hearing is that they're wrong, no matter what the situation is. So it's like if you go in with the idea of, okay, here's why you're wrong, then they're gonna be defensive immediately. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're talking about which goldfish flavor is the best or, racism or something. They're going to be pissed off if you say you're wrong, here's why. You know? And I think it's better to be like, okay, why do you think the way that you do? What triggers this? Like why, and just like you were saying, understanding why, and then kind of explaining to them why they're wrong without saying, hey, you're wrong. Like saying, okay, this is why maybe you shouldn't think like this, or this is why, cheddar's better than the pizza flavor or something like that. And then you just kind of go at that angle,
Right. Instead of attacking
Yeah.
them.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. And honestly, at the end of the day, most people just want to be listened to.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. They just want to feel heard.
Yeah. Agreed for sure.
And yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, any other closing arguments? Any closing comments, concerns before we wrap this up?
I don't think so for me.
It was a pleasure. I had a great time. Phazer, you seem like a wonderful person.
Thank you. Likewise.
Unruly, you are a wonderful person who just you're an amazing person.
Thank you.
You need to be told that more often. And you?
Appreciate that.
I want to show off something real fast. It's gonna take me 2 seconds, I promise. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of this. I'm just a couple more folds. Give me 2 seconds.
Got this. Waiting intently.
This is gonna look so shitty, but it's okay. Okay, hold on. Wait, okay, we're almost there.
Drooling in anticipation.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Watch this. Flapping bird.
Yeah, amazing. I was wondering what you were working on for a little bit.
Yeah,
I saw a couple eyebrow flares, a couple.
He was.
There we go.
Thank you. You want me to make it disappear? What?
Magic.
Where'd it go?
Look at this.
Where'd it go, bro?
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure having the both of you here. For the people that are just still in the stream now and missed the introductions, both of you, introduce yourselves real quick. Drop some social medias in the chat. Let people know where they can find you. Of course, I told you guys before, when this is edited and reproduced, ways to find you guys and your amazing content and your ideas. Socials, maybe some of the viewers will be able to reach out to you guys and talk a little bit more about your opinion on the matter. So, Phazer, you let the world know who you are. Belle, reintroduce yourself. Then we'll close up.
Do you want to go first, or? Okay. All right. Well, I'm Phazer in the top 5% of all content creators. So, but for but I do want to say I am Phazer. I do stream variety stuff. I like to do interactive games, Minecraft. I like to do some horror games occasionally, FPS. But yeah, I like to play a bunch of different games, and I like to build a great community. And hopefully you guys can check me out. Hopefully find a new community, some, people to hang out with and be friends with, I guess. And hopefully I can give you entertainment.
Woo! That's Phazer, everybody. Phazer, everyone.
Top 5%. Now that I know that, I'm going to use that all the time. I'm going to put it in my Twitter bio, just like, top 5.
Oh my god. What's it called? My name is Hellsabels, aka Isabel, aka Hells, aka Hellsabels, aka whatever. I am a Apex, DBD, Valorant, story game streamer. I play a lot of games. I love hanging out with my viewers, my followers. I play a lot of games with them as well. I'm on everything. I'm top 2% of streamers. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I'm probably top 3.5.
But yeah, I would love to have you guys, and hopefully you give me a chance. I promise I'm very entertaining, and I have lots and lots of good vibes. I'm so close to 500 followers too, so it would be really, really awesome, as I'm trying to get on a stream team with one of my friends, and one of the requirements is having 500 followers. So yeah, I would really appreciate any follows or any interaction. And you guys are amazing. And again, thank you to Unruly for hosting this, and thank you to Phazer for, talking to me. And it was a wonderful time.
Likewise. Also, I forgot to say something in my monologue.
Go ahead.
I stream every day except Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:30 Central Time, PM. And then Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So yeah. I wanted to add that. And top 2.5% of content creators.
So when Chick-fil-A's closed, you're not gonna find Phazer on the internet.
Absolutely not. I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna be doing some, crying because they're closed.
Operates
Coping
on
with canes, maybe.
coping with canes. Put that on a
something like
t-shirt.
that.
Put that on a
Oh,
t-shirt.
yeah.
Put that on a
Canes. Oh,
t-shirt.
man.
Let me know. I need
That's
the
an
link to that
emote.
one.
Bars, and I didn't even know it, dude.
That's crazy.
Cane
Awesome.
better?
Alright.
They got some good toast. I'll say that. They got some really good toast.
I
Nice.
like their sauce a little bit better.
Their sauce is fantastic. I've never had Chick-fil-A sauce. I've heard it's sweeter version of cane sauce. Is it? It's mid.
It's mid.
mid.
Honestly, I'd rather have like tangy barbecue sauce from McDonald's.
I agree. I agree. Is Szechuan sauce spicy?
No.
Or is it
Debatable.
more? Is it sweet or is it?
It's like a teriyaki sauce.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Less
I gotta
sweet, more on the tangy.
make that. I have to make that. Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. It's a pleasure having the both of you. I told you guys
Thanks for
in our
having me.
DMs why exactly I chose the both of you. You guys have been amazing. Did not disappoint me at all. It was interesting to hear your stories, interesting to hear your struggles, interesting to hear your brightest moments. I appreciate you guys being such good sports, and really did value you guys being here and telling me your stories. So if there's anything else you want to say while we are still live, go ahead and say it. I'm not going to stop you. But if that is what it is, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate our audience, our live audience. You guys have been awesome. Greatly appreciate it.
I just want to say thank you for having me on. Again, thank you to you, Bells, right? Bells.
That
All
works.
right, cool. Thanks for being the co-guest or whatever you call it. But anyways, I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, man. And it was actually a lot of fun. It was actually a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it
was a
as
lot
well.
of fun.
It was
And
so
we
fun.
went like almost 2 hours over the mark, but I mean,
I
damn,
I set a basis
was good.
on what it is and let you guys go as far as you wanted it to. So
Yeah,
I
that was a good time.
I
That
am
was a good time.
more than grateful to have over 2 hours of your guys' time to enlighten
Oh yeah.
you as a
It
creator
was
and educate.
so much fun.
That's 2
Yeah.
hours and 40 minutes of education, just bloop right here.
And if you have any other podcasts, dude, I'm open.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What's it called? Other thing is I will start working on the panic button video ASAP Rocky.
That is such
That's
a
good.
beautiful idea.
That's a good idea.
That's
That's a great
Such a
idea.
beautiful idea. If people weren't
I
there
got-
for
I
that,
got you guys ASAP.
you guys have to find out about it. It's such
Fantastic
a
idea.
fantastic idea.
Do you want to explain that just so in case anyone missed it, just so they
Just
know?
real,
what we're
just
talking
real
about?
quick, just real quick.
Yeah.
The panic button is a button I have on my Steam Deck, or Stream Deck, sorry, excuse me. That is a multi-action, button. So basically for when I'm live, if I get hate rated or follow botted, what it does, it puts my chat into sub chat only. It plays an ad. It clears my chat and slows my chat. It puts my, screen on the be right back scene. It creates a stream marker and a clip so I can report it to Twitch, and it puts out a chat message that says, sorry for sub only mode and ads, we are being hit with a hate raid / follow botting. So it does all of that with a push of a button, so I don't have to think about it, and we can smash that hate raid, in its tracks.
It's the best solution I've actually heard besides just slash banning everything. Yeah. It's really, really clever idea.
Fantastic idea.
Yeah. Not even gonna lie. Yeah.
I got you guys. So that will be coming out ASAP Rocky on my YouTube, which I haven't posted much on there, but you can.
Yeah, plug that shit. Plug it. All your socials will be here. But yeah, such a fantastic idea.
Sweet.
Never thought or heard of that before. So, good job. With that being said, I believe that wraps everything up. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you guys for the audience. You guys have been amazing. Thank you guys, everyone, for the follows and support towards the podcast. You guys will be able to watch and listen to the rest of it if you weren't all here. And thank you guys again for being here. Appreciate you guys. Alrighty, everyone. We'll be seeing you.